I know y'all are saying, "It's about time she shows her ass up." She been, like, faking and fronting and postponing and rescheduling, and you're right, because I have been so busy. I made my open my big mouth and promised all these people pies for Christmas, right? "Oh, yeah, I'll make you one, that'll be a gift. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah," says Deborah. I've been a pie making fool. Think my name is Miss Pillsbury or something. It's been crazy. My whole house smells like sweet potato pie, but I'm almost finished. I think I have 3 or 4 left to do, and then I am done for the season, and next year, Imma keep my big mouth shut. That's what we gonna do. So I hope you guys are ramping up for your holiday and everything's going really well. We're trying to experiment today. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch as well as on Instagram. We just getting all over the place. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, before we get started, since today is payday for a lot of people, I wanna take this moment to remind you, if you have not done so already, we have a webinar coming up for women on the 29th of this month. We wanted to scheduled it before the end of the year so that everybody would have time to take it and make note of what you learned about saying no and putting up your boundaries so you go into 2024 with some new skills. So many young women, well, not just young women, don't seem to have the ability to say no and just put people off of them and say, "Leave me alone and stop treating me like that, stop talking to me like that. Don't you touch me." They can't do that even with employers. So it's become a very interesting thing that's very frustrating for me as I see this behavior week after week after week. And then it just seems like the parents really aren't teaching their daughters to have boundaries and to have a voice. So that means I have to step in and do it. And it's $19. It's gonna be about a 2-hour event. You can scan the QR code or you can just navigate over to, the website. And all the information is in the show page on YouTube, and you just click that link, or you go over to our website for this show. It's Debsterism, Debsterism.com, and you'll see the information. You can just look at it and register over there, okay? Got about another, 2 weeks, and then that's it. So, let's get started with the show. We have 26 questions tonight. Make up for the day we only had 24, I guess. Question number 1, this is a young lady, the 22 to 27 age group from Washington, DC. Summary of the issue, one of my best friends told me that he would date me if he wasn't. He and I were at a social event this fall where he was very intoxicated without his girlfriend and kept telling me if I weren't dating X, I would date you. We've been very close friends for 12 plus years, and I adore his girlfriend. I consider one of her my friends regardless of what happens with them. I think they will get engaged next year, and I have been dating for over a year. I'm single, and she was not at this event where he kept telling me this. I basically diverted all topics of this conversation back to her being like, "Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that because you're dating X." He would look around the event, ask if I thought any other guys were cute. Then would proceed to ask if I thought he was cute. Then he'd come back to, "You either one if I weren't dating X." This went on for 2 hours. He even grabbed my waist at one point, telling me how beautiful and sexy I am. I basically drew the line and was barely around him the rest of the night. He has apologized multiple times for how drunk he got, but never mentioned what he said. I found out he had cried a lot the following week and just felt terrible about getting that drunk. A couple of weeks later, he pulled me aside, asked me exactly what he told me that night. Other people were with our group, including his girlfriend. I told him, "It's fine. This isn't really the place." We haven't chatted about it since, but it's been driving me crazy. His girlfriend still has no clue. I feel so awkward weeks later because things have just been off between the two of us ever since. Should I just put it out of my mind forever and try hard to get back to normal? Please help me. Imma tell you this. When people are drunk, the holes that they have on their conscious mind go away. So what you're hearing are truths. As sick and twisted as that may be, it sounds like the 12 years that he spent as your friend, he was really hoping for an opportunity so he could slide in and be that dude. I'm not sure how he happened to get with this girl and, where what your status was at the time, or if you ever I mean, you may never have really been interested in looking at him like that, and that's why you're in a friend zone. That's a possibility too, but you didn't say that. I'm just telling you from his perspective. That's what he so he's telling you his truth. He's used the alcohol was merely the tool to loosen his tongue, okay? So give him the courage to say what he always wanted to say. What you are supposed to do, though, is not divert. What you are supposed to do is tell him straight up, "Look, shut up. Don't ever say stuff like that to me, it's disrespectful. If you want to go out with me, you had the time to do it before you met her, but that's not what you did. So I don't wanna hear about it now all after the fact, trying to set me your side. Get out of here. If you keep this conversation up, then we won't even be friends, and you can forget about that part. I'm not your girlfriend, and we wouldn't even be friends, okay? I want you to understand. You need to shut up, and if you're that drunk, go home, okay? That's what you're supposed to tell him, to shut that all the way down, but that's not what you did, and so now here you are sitting there fretting about it. In the back of your mind, you want it to be true because in the back of your mind, you wish that he had had the courage to step up, and so y'all could be together instead of you watching him while away his life marrying a woman that he doesn't really wanna be with. Not really, that's why he cried. You're saying he cried because he was drunk? That's not why he cried. He cried because he realizes that the emotions that he have for you are that's the woman he wants to be with, but he's with her because she's the fill in the blank. She doesn't understand that, though. She thinks that he really loves her. I done told y'all forever to do a man's first love, he just it just that's it. It just takes over his existence. He may have to get over her, get a divorce, but in the back of his mind, if she ever straightened up and flew right, he would still take her back. That's how it is with men and their first loves. Every other woman is compared to their first love. So you evidently was his first love, and he's crying because he knows now he's gonna leave. He's gonna have to his relationship with you is gonna be forever changed. He shot his shot and you didn't respond, and now the only thing he has left is to either have the courage to tell this woman he can't marry her or to go ahead and marry her and suffer the rest of his life until he gets a divorce. So that's why he was crying, okay? Just want you to understand. Is there anything that you can do about this? Absolutely not. It's out of your hands. It's up to him. It's his life. If I were him, I wouldn't marry the woman. I don't know if I'd be with you, but I would not marry somebody I wasn't truly in love with just 'cause we've been dating a year. That's what's going on there. So I want you to understand. What's up? I see everybody. I switched over to the chat so I can see everybody. Hi. If he wasn't getting en he's engaged to another woman, but he's telling this girl, the one he's been friends with for 12 years, friends, that if he wasn't dating this other girl, he would be with her, and he said it, like, over 2-hour period, she says, multiple times, followed her around, kept saying it, tried to touch her, saying it. So to me, when people get drunk, the tr their tongue gets loose, and they say all the stuff that's in their mind that they wanted to say, whether it's raggedy, funky, rude, nasty stuff, or whether it's, stuff like about loving you. It's the alcohol loosens their tongue and all their inhibitions and the holes that they had on themselves because like, "Oh, I shouldn't say that, that's not socially acceptable." This all that goes away with the alcohol. And there's a lot of times you hear people say and do stuff. I mean, I did it a couple times. That's why I don't drink tequila to this day. I don't mess with tequila. I did some tequila shots for the first time in my life, with the put the salt and the lime and all this old stuff here. I was toe up. So much stuff happened and people were like and luckily I was with some friends that, took care of me, but if this thing if I had been in an environment with some scallywags, all kinds of stuff could have happened to me, and I had no recollection of it. To this day, I don't remember what happened. So, that's what I'm saying, people having been there, it's true. You can do and say stuff and everything, and they had film, videos, and pictures of me. So I know it's true. To this day, I don't remember none of it. So that's why, alcohol is very dangerous. Audio issues, what kind of audio issues are we having? Oh, no. I don't know. Let me look on here and see what's going on. Uh, 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 uh. I wonder if that's because I'm trying to stream to Instagram. I guess we'll just that's the Instagram well, you guys gonna have to come over to YouTube, it sounds like, because, yeah, I can see it's hanging on Instagram. This is not really working too well. So this we're gonna save this experiment for another time. You guys who are on Instagram, please join us on YouTube. I'm gonna close this out because it's ruining the stream, okay? Sorry, I'll wait a few weeks for you to get this technology a little bit more polished, and then we'll try this again. But right now, we're only gonna be over on YouTube, okay? YouTube. See you guys over there. That's what we're gonna do. I think that must be it because we haven't been having any audio problems for weeks now since I upgraded my internet. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Instagram was there, but I just told him to come over here. Scallywags, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be politically correct in my old age. Okay, so let's move on to question number 2. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Austin, Texas. Current issue. My boyfriend thinks every time I express feelings that it's an argument. Let me give you a few examples of this. It's mainly when I'm trying to express how I feel or ask him to not do something. Number 1, he's screaming on a video game in my apartment with my roommates at 4:30 in the morning with the door wide open during finals week. I tell him that he needs to be considerate of my roommates, and he tells me, "Thank you for lecturing me like you're my mom, and you're just looking for reasons to argue." Okay, now let me stop right here and ask you why, if you have roommates, did you have this boy in your house uh at 4:30 in the morning doing anything? He shouldn't even have been there. He should have been at his house. See, you that kind of roommate that I would have cussed out. Inconsiderate, all you doing is thinking about yourself, and the girls that's paying for rent and peace and quiet there don't even get to have it because of your raggedy ass boyfriend. So yeah, you would have got cussed out. So why you didn't do that, let's see what else happened. Okay, now number 2. I was in charge of cooking most of the food prior to our first Thanksgiving, everything except the turkey. Leading up to Thanksgiving, I reminded him 2 times to make sure he does his research so he doesn't have any issues when trying to cook it, which was completely ignored. Around 1 week before, I recommended we get a ham just to be safe because I know cooking a turkey for the first time is really difficult. It's really not. He got super pissed at me saying that we should buy duplicates of all the food I made as well. Well, Deb, day of Thanksgiving, the turkey is frozen solid, and he's angry at me again. Scratch that turkey. I suggest we buy ham after a lot of arguing, and guess what? Do you know? We did. Number 3, he says a lot of vulgar sexual shit, which I really don't like, especially since I have roommates. See, roommates again, they should all be cussing you out, kicking you out too. He said something explicit to me with the door wide open, and right when I was about to say how I felt, he told me to be quiet. I didn't even get to say a word. Maybe it's because I've told him a dozen times to not do that, and he did it anyway. So why you keep telling him when you can see he's not listening to you? He's not respecting you, and he doesn't care what you say or what you want. Even in your house with other girls there, he's gonna come in and do what the hell he wants to do in y'all's house, and you just let him. The 3 of us would jump him. That's what would happen. We would beat his ass and kick him out and tell him, "Don't you ever come back here." And if you didn't like it, we would throw you out too. I don't know how to remedy this communication is futile because I met with a mountain of excuses and be told I'm looking for a reason to argue and I shouldn't treat him like a child. I'm never rude when communicating at first, but then he treats it like that and I get very frustrated. I never try to play his mom, but I feel like he's forcing me into these situations, then get mad at me for reacting. No, what's forcing you to do this is you, because you dumb. You's a silly little girl. Get rid of this fool. You sitting up there and let some man verbally abuse you in your own house and then totally disrespect your roommates and your household. And then you want to write me and ask me what you should do. And, oh, how can I improve communication? You can improve it by getting rid of an idiot. That's what you do. Why are you wasting your time with somebody who treats you like this? And can still call him your boyfriend. He would have been the second he said something, I told him to do something and he didn't do it in my house, that was the relationship would be over. My patience for this kind of stuff is like microscopically thin. Don't you tell me nothing. That I go if I tell you that you better hop on one foot on my carpet from the kitchen to the door, that's what you better do. And if you don't like it, then don't come back. It's just that simple. Everything up in this bitch, I control this. This is my shit. Okay. You don't do nothing here that I don't like. If I tell you to shut it down at 4:30 in the morning, you better have done. I mean, he wouldn't even been doing that. Like I said, he wouldn't have been there if it was me because it's finals week. No guests. That would have been an agreement between all of us. Just the only ones who are going to be in the apartment, so we all have peace and quiet, is the three of us who are the roommates. No guests, no nothing. No overnights, no visitors, nothing. You want to see somebody, you go to their house or go out with them. They don't come here. That should be the rule. So you're just a terrible roommate and you got a stupid boyfriend now. That's the answer to your question. Oh my God. You know, that's what black folks say, I wish. That means we don't really wish, but you know, what's going to happen to you if you do get it. Yeah, Instagram was yeah, that's what I said. I figured out that it was Instagram that was causing the problem. So it's new technology. You know, I like to try stuff. It's a new feature, but it needs more work. So I'm not gonna. We won't be doing that for a little bit. We'll wait a month or so and try it again. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from London, England. Summary of issue: the silent treatment. But what's really going on? A little over a month ago, I broke up with a guy that I dated for a year. For the last half of the relationship, arguments and short 3 and 4 day breakups became fairly common. Okay, so y'all was stupid. I'm not sure if this is in part because we are both experienced some unfortunate life events, death of a mutual friend, etc., right around that 6-month mark. As our fights seemed to get worse, he began calling me unacceptable names and saying things like, I hate you, or you don't deserve to be loved, taking things too far. Throughout the relationship, I almost always had to come to his place and spend time with his friends and or support him at events revolving around his hobbies, but it wasn't reciprocal. After arguments, he would give me the silent treatment for a few days until I got so upset I begged for him to talk to me. I would block that fool and he would cease to exist. I feel like I still love this person, but at the same time, it's not healthy for me to be with someone who doesn't respect me and damages my self-esteem. Even though I was willing to and did break up with him as it was necessary, what I really wanted was for him to start treating me in a more loving and understanding way. I told him not to talk to me when I broke up with him, and 3 or 4 days later, I said I had time to cool off if he wanted to talk. No response. See, why did you even say that if you're just going to go back on your word? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. You women wonder why the dudes don't pay any attention to you, don't listen to you, and don't respect you. You don't respect yourself. If you set a hard line and something, you tell somebody, if you do this and that, then this and that is the repercussions of that, and that's what's going to happen. And you break up with them because they did that, and then you go call them back. So you're teaching him that you don't mean shit that you say. That he has more power over you than you have over yourself. That you weak and that you silly, and your mind is silly. Desperate. That's what you're teaching him. That he has the upper hand and can continue to have it no matter how he treats you, because you're going to come crawling back. That's what you're teaching him. Have you no self-respect at all? None. This is just disturbing that somebody would be groveling to somebody who treated them this way repeatedly. Oh my God. These girls, I just don't even understand it. Okay, so what else did she do that was stupid? So no response. A couple of days later, I asked if he would leave my mail packages about $100 outside for me if I went by that evening. No response. The packages were outside, so I know he's getting my text. He has neither blocked me on social media nor asked for his key back. Aside from texting him the couple of times I mentioned, there's been no communication on my end either. I did well for the first few days, but seem to be more upset as time goes on, and I'm having a hard time emotionally. Do you have any insight into this behavior or advice for me? Yeah, you stupid. Like I said, you pay more attention and put more stock in him than you do in yourself. You love him more than you love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, there would be no way in this damn world that you would let somebody talk to you like that. Like you call you out your name, especially more than one time. So with me, you get once and then we're done. We're through here. There's no second chance. You a grown man. You know how to talk to people with respect. The fact that you chose to call me names, yell, and act stupid shows to me that you have no respect. And if there's no respect there, young ladies, there can be no love. You're there for booty, you a place to stay, comfort, somebody to cook and clean for him, something that really he doesn't love you. And that's so many young women just don't get that. They don't fucking get it. And they're like, oh, but I love him though. So your love is stupid and it's putting you in a position where you're just getting run over like a steamroller by somebody who don't give a shit about you. This drives me crazy. Well, that's right. I forgot. I went to Costco. What's in this? I'm about to have a swig too. I haven't been drinking, but I'm about to turn that around. From now until New Year's Eve, I'm gonna stay drunk. Maybe not. I haven't been drinking, so the taste is strong. Okay, but let's at this. Hopefully that'll take the edge off because right now I'm just super irritated at this girl. You're not having a hard time. You just fixated on this dude for some unknown reason. Give him his fucking key back and whether he blocked you or not, you block him. And then move on with your life. Question number 4. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group, no location provided. Summary of issue. What do you ladies think of shy men? Assuming he's somewhat attractive, what is your opinion on men with a shy, serious demeanor? A man who doesn't really enjoy clubbing, bars, nightlife, etc., but he's not really boring, just quiet. Do you perceive him as insecure? Thank you. You know, you say he's not boring, just quiet. Well, how would anybody know that he's not boring if he's just sitting there like a bump on a log and not saying nothing? You want to try to paint yourself just sitting there looking stupid as something, nice. Women are auditory creatures. Women love communication, exploring feelings, talking about stuff. That's why we go through every bit of minutia. But a girl, and then what he say, and then what you say, and what he look like. Except that's how we are. We want to connect with the feelings of things. A man who just sits there and doesn't say anything does not provide that opportunity to connect with him on a feelings level. So you think that you're not boring, but yes, you are. You're boring because there's nothing coming from you. There's nothing to draw her in towards you. There's nothing to make her want to be around you, up under you, kiss and hug you. You're not giving her anything. That's why, like for me, when dudes say that they're shy, what I perceive them to be is cowards, and it's a turnoff because part of the image of being a man in this society is someone who is out front, take charge, decisive, leader, make shit happen. And somebody who's retiring and just sitting there and not doing or saying anything does not present that image. And for a woman who's dynamic and excited about life and looking for a man who's going to meet her toe to toe, you would not be looked at. You would be passed by because you wouldn't be offering her anything. She'd try to strike up a conversation with you and you would just be quiet. And she'd be like, well, okay. You are too, CC. I heard that, girl. Dudes, you just got to I don't care if you have to go on the internet and find some shit to talk about and write it in your phone. So every time you look at your phone, a new topic pops up. You better do something because that's the only way that you're going to connect with a woman. You got to talk to her for her to develop feelings and attach to you. And I'm not talking about those stupid lines like the pickup artists used to use. That I don't know what that was. That was the select group of like IQ 52 women or something. I don't know what that was all about. But if you know, you got a woman who's a career woman, she's intelligent, she's gone through college, she may have an advanced degree, she's a mover and a shaker, she's doing shit, okay? She's about something. She has goals, she has ambition. She wants somebody who can meet her toe to toe, walk with her, a partner. That the only way that she's gonna know that that's you, that you're in the running, is if you talk and you share things about yourself that let her know that you that dude. If you just sit there and you don't never say nothing, then what's she supposed to think? So, like I said, for me, when men act like that, I perceive them as cowards because I see what they are more concerned with is being embarrassed or being rejected, or quote, looking stupid, that kind of thing. You're more concerned with that, your ego, than you are with making an emotional connection with the woman and putting yourself out there. So you're going to continue to be single. And that's all I got to say. That's what women think about that. Am I wrong, ladies? You guys chime in. How do you feel about dudes that are shy and don't say nothing? Diana Prince, this is that Costco cognac. It's not bad. Not that great either, but no, it's not horrible. So yeah, that's my answer to your question. But yeah, you ladies, what do you think about shy men? Please put your thoughts in there. If a guy just shy, says he's shy and he don't say nothing. Question number 5. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Edinburgh, Texas. Another female in the 28 to 34 age group is the other subject of the question. Summary of issue. A former acquaintance of mine is gearing up to ask me to be a bridesmaid. How do I politely decline being one and let her know that I'm not going to the wedding at all either? Deb, a former work friend, is getting married. Perhaps while we worked together, I gave an impression that we were real life friends, but I only ever considered her a work friend. She eventually was fired for shady behavior, not anything illegal, just slimy and very self-serving. I saw the shady behavior myself a few months before she was terminated and put extreme distance between us, not just to protect my own job, but because I think that what she was doing reflected poor character, and I didn't want a friend like that. She left the job. I wished her the best. She got hired by a rival company of ours. I haven't seen her in 7 or 8 months. She has texted once or twice, but I always politely stonewall her with curt responses after ignoring the message for days. I keep hoping that she would send a message and that she was moving on. We work in a very small profession, and I don't like burning bridges, so I'm committed to remaining cordial. Plus, she's well connected in our field and has already shown herself to be manipulative. Deep down, I would like to tell her just to leave me alone flat out. She popped up out of the blue to ask me to have coffee last week, and I made up an excuse about being busy and that if I ever freed up, I would let her know, LOL. She kept pushing and said that she really needed to see me soon in person to hand deliver something to me related to her wedding. So yeah, pretty soon it's one of those bridesmaids proposal. She's pretty sure it's a bridesmaid's proposal. Maybe she might just want you to, give you the invitation. Not only will I say no, I'm not even going to go to her wedding, period. How do I handle this politely? Well, what you do is, you know people that know her, right? You know people that know her. So what you do is you find out when the wedding is. And then you have an event that you must go to on the other side of the world, at least the other side of the country, some family related thing. Oh, my family reunion. That's always a good one. She don't know nobody in your family, so how's she gonna verify that? Make sure you schedule the time off from work, though. You need that. If it's a Saturday and Sunday, schedule Friday off as a vacation day and then disappear. Don't stay at home. Disappear somewhere. You gone that whole weekend. You and where are you? Edinburgh, Texas. I don't know how far that is. Go to Corpus. Go to Corpus and play on the beach or something. Do something with yourself. Get out of there. And then when you come back, so when she comes to give you this invitation, which you should go to meet her for the coffee, okay? Because right now you don't know what she's talking about. You don't know anything. So you're going to go and you're going to meet her for the coffee, and then she's going to give you that invitation. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is so unfortunate. I have plans. My family reunion is in, I don't know, California that weekend. And so I just absolutely can't make it. What's she going to say? And if she's at the point where she already got the invitations printed, then you rock solid. Okay, you covered. It's a perfectly plausible excuse. You won't have to show up. You won't have to send a gift. You don't have to do anything. because you ain't gonna be there. You're gonna be in California or wherever, Washington, wherever you, someplace that's far on either side of the country from Texas. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Since you have a lot of concerns about her being well connected in the industry and all this kind of stuff, you have to handle this diplomatically. Okay. So think about what I said, set something up so you got cover and then use that excuse. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Ottawa, Canada. Summary of issue. I found out that I'm not my boyfriend's physical type. I'm reaching a point where I think breaking up is the only option. I've got an incredibly small chest and found out that he prefers big ones. I mean, who doesn't really? A lot of people, especially the women that have them. But he lied and told me small was always his favorite. His friend let slip something that blew his facade. And when interrogated, he broke down and admitted he's mostly attracted to larger bosoms and always went for girls like that, but liked me enough that it didn't matter. Maybe this should be consolation for most people that despite his preference, he was happy anyway. But my chest has been a source of a lot of grief, shame, and insecurity for me. And I always wanted to be with someone who could appreciate my body and what was authentically attached to it. I'm now no longer comfortable nude. I feel humiliation when we walk together past a woman on the street who's more well endowed. I doubt his compliments because I worry he's just telling me that for my benefit, not because he believes it. Is this a me problem? Should I just work on loving myself more? Is it reasonable to want your partner to prefer your body type? Is it a confidence issue of mine and being unreasonable to want to end it? And with some self-work, I could learn to accept this type despite it not being me. I just want to end it and start again with someone who's honest from the jump, but I'm feeling immense guilt. He never showed any interest in my chest before and also said that he was happy to compromise there because he likes my personality. He also reached out to his ex whose chest he was obsessed with, so he said his drunk idiot friend who was definitely trying to upset me to meet up, though he claims nothing was behind it and that they're just friends. This feels like it's probably important context. Also, can you give me some input on how to like your body despite not being your partner's type? How can I accept myself when my body falls short of social standards for beauty and womanhood? It's not just like love, but I understand it in theory, but practice is a different thing. I'm gonna tell you what. Look online and you look at the women who have really big breasts and look at the suffering that they go through. And that's why they have a kind of operation called a breast reduction. It is a medical necessity for some of these women. Their lives are miserable. So you sitting up there wishing you had giant ones, and they're trying to look like you because they're in such pain. Their posture's awful. Their bras are so heavy, they have like trench marks on their, like deep gouges into their flesh from the bra straps. Their backs hurt all the time. Their necks hurt all the time. Their breathing is different. They have a lot of pain and issues with walking. All kind of stuff is going on. Their back, low back, upper back. I mean, you're looking at this like, your whole personality and your whole image of yourself, your whole being, your whole everything is based on whether this man likes your boobies or not. You tripping. You do you know how stupid you sound right about now? You tripping, girl. And let me tell you something about men. If he was being with them chicks was so great, grand, and wonderful, where are they now? Did you ever think about that? If that was such a fabulous moment in his life, well, where are they at? Okay, why is he with you if that was so great? Did you ever think of that? See, you're not thinking about nothing. You're only thinking about how you want to feel bad about one comment that you heard from his stupid drunk friend. Do you understand that people's tastes change? When men mature, they realize that certain things are worth more to them than boobies. Ooh, Lord, girl, you need to grow the fuck up. That's what you need to do. The man's not sitting up there telling you every day that you need to get a boob enhancement or nothing like that. We have letters from girls whose boyfriends do that stuff, and I tell them to dump them. Your boyfriend's not doing that. All he did was explain that, that used to be important to him when he was, at that age, and he was just farting around, going from this woman to that one. He was going for physical appearance because he was just looking for somebody to bang. But now he's looking for somebody that he can really be with. And so that particular thing has faded in importance, and he's looking for something that's deeper and richer. and you provide those things. If you don't get out your head and stop trying to imagine shit and feel bad about yourself over nothing, you're gonna fuck it up. That's what you're gonna do. You know, just stupid. These kids, I mean, it's just amazing to me. These Gen Z people just have no maturity whatsoever. I just is like it drives me crazy. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. Seriously. Get out of your feelings. All of y'all are just ridiculous when your feelings about every damn thing and think everybody's supposed to cater to your feelings. Nobody gives a shit about your feelings. I'm trying to tell you, like, this join the real world here. Okay, everybody ain't your mother. Nobody's gonna coddle you, and nobody's gonna care. I'm trying to get you to face the real world and get out of your Gen Z self-importance off the internet mentality. Whew, Lord have mercy. These people. I really Ooh. Yeah, they can worry about stupid shit. Got me cussing all kind of extra. Now let me have another swig. Look at my eyes already at half mast. Just from one swig. I haven't been drinking. But I'm gonna make up for it. All right. This is question number 7. She's from Cicero, Illinois. 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. I like the guy I'm dating, but he doesn't brush his teeth. Okay. Why is it every week we get these nasty ass boyfriend letters? We get at least one. They funky. They don't want to bathe. They don't shower. They don't brush their teeth or all of the above. And yet you women be dealing with them. So I can't fault them. So basically, he said he had a tooth sensitivity and he tried a bunch of different toothpaste and supposedly nothing worked. And then he just stopped brushing his teeth. And he said he hasn't had any problems since then. The issue is that it absolutely repulses me. We've gone on a few dates and I don't want to kiss him. Also, in general, I don't think he's the most hygienic person, but the other things I can live with, maybe I'm just picky. What can I do? Also, he's really stubborn and gets annoyed whenever I say anything that could count as a suggestion or preference or remark. I would dump his dirty, nasty, funky ass. That's what I would do. Yuck mouth motherfucker. It's sitting up there with girl, you don't want to kiss him. And you definitely don't want him putting his mouth any other place on your body. Don't you understand what kind of awful infection you gonna get up with? You need to leave this nasty fool alone. There's nothing about what he's talking about. I have very sensitive teeth too. I use Sensodyne toothpaste religiously. They say you're only supposed to use it for a short period of time. Fuck that shit. I've been using it for years. And it's the only thing that saves my teeth. I don't know why they're so sensitive. And he should also use a soft toothbrush. Most people want to use the hard ones because they want to feel like they're scrubbing. You know, he done scrubbed all the enamel off his teeth. Use a soft toothbrush, everybody. Soft, not medium and not hard. You can use hard if you got false teeth. That helps clean them really good, but not on your, your real teeth and gums. It tears them up and rips all the enamel off. Yeah, he's a yuck mouth. Just nasty. And I don't see how she could like him because as soon as he smiled and I saw them fuzzy gums and that shit coating his teeth, I would be like, oh no, we cannot with you. Question number 8. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Asian from London in the UK. Summary of issue. My mom would prefer if I did not marry my girlfriend who's a woman of color. What do I do? You marry her anyway. I'm looking, he done wrote a damn book. Okay, so he met her on the dating app. We went on a few dates. We clicked very well. Now we're at an age where we think we should get married. We have financial stability. We both come from strict families where we should not have the relationship with the opposite person unless you've been married. I think he means, nook. So his mother, he says, a few days ago, my mother was asking me what kind of girl I'd like to marry, and I said it doesn't matter. She said that she would prefer if she was our ethnicity, and given that I have stable income and high education, she said many girls in our homeland would be more than willing to marry me. I can just pick and choose. I said, I'm not going to marry somebody I don't know. At this point, there were either people listening to our conversation. We were at a wedding and casually chatting at a table with other guests. Someone joked and humorously asked, well, what if she's African? I looked at my mom and said, I don't care as long as we like each other. I would be more than okay. I asked my mom if she would be happy with my marriage with an African girl, thinking of my secret girlfriend. And she said no. I asked why, without sounding too pushy to raise any suspects. She replied, because people in our homeland would never accept an African and everyone would talk ill of our honor. So you worried about that instead of your son's happiness. Wow. I got irritated and left the table. I know the African people are frowned upon in my culture, but I could not care less about the negative aspects. But evidently, I do care about what my mother thinks, and she's my mother after all. So fucking what, you a grown ass man. Okay, so his mom was showing him pictures of different girls. Some of them were gorgeous, but I don't feel anything for them. Blah blah blah. He wrote a novel. She said that his mother She hinted that she would be outright sad if I did marry against her will. She said I can marry whoever I want as long as it's within our culture, and I consult her on that topic. This really hurt me because I really like the girl. I feel something for her, which I haven't felt for any of my previous partners. I guess I was blinded by love, but I never even noticed the skin color or even thought of it until we started having these bizarre discussions. But I love this girl. Leaving her and thinking of being with someone else pains me so much that I'm on the verge of crying. It would also devastate her because I know she really loves me. We have already created so many memories, even though quite a few ups and downs, which has further solidified our relationship. What should I do? I'm going to tell you what, mister. Let me see. How old did he say he was again? Hold on. This long ass novel that you wrote. Okay, you're in the 22 to 27 age group. So you probably in 27 at this age, group 27 or so. I'm going to say this. Part of being an adult is that you separate from your parents, especially this is especially necessary for a son. I know in your culture, parents are revered and, this and that. And from everything I've seen, a lot of Asian parents want to try to control their adult kids, just like your mother's trying to do you. But you a grown ass man. You making your own money. You living on your own. You doing your own thing. The only one who's going to be married to this woman is you. So what you need to do is sit down and tell your mother, you know what? I'm in love with a woman and she's African and I'm going to marry her. That's what I'm going to do. And you going to like it. And then when we have children, you're going to like them too. And what you're not going to do is worry about what some complete strangers do in a country where we don't even fucking live anymore. We're in the UK. So this is the culture where we are. This is the only thing that we need to really think about. And everybody from every corner of the world is here, and everybody mixes and mingles, marries, dates, has kids with, and stuff. Everybody else, and that's the real world. It's not like that little backwoods hick town that you came from and that we left behind. So your thought processes, mom, need to come into the 2024 and into this culture that we're in right now. We're not going to worry about what happened, what we left back there. And that's what you need to tell your mother. And then you go and you do what the fuck you want to do. I will tell you a very interesting story. When I was in high school, I had a friend group. Okay. One of my friends, her name was Annie, had an older brother. He was fine. He was one of those kind of Chinese dudes that was like he had like gangster swag. You know what I mean? He was Chinese. He wasn't like the nerd kind of Chinese. He was like the thug looking type, but he had like a master's degree. I mean, from UC Berkeley. I mean, dude was brilliant. But I'm just talking about his persona. So he was very attractive to black women and smart, just cool, just nice looking. I mean, I had a crush on him and he was way older than me, but still, And anyway, he had this black girlfriend. Parents didn't know anything about it. And so he wanted to marry her, right? But he, as the oldest son, he knew the way that they had everything set up. He was going to inherit the business. He was going to inherit all the property. He was going to get everything. And, he was going to share some with his younger siblings, but everything was going to be coming to him because he was the oldest son. So what the parents did was they got some chick up from Hong Kong or somewhere and shipped her over here. And that was who he was marrying. Now, let me tell you about this dude. This dude was so savage. At the fucking wedding, he had his black girlfriend there. And the little bride was sitting up at the bridal table with the parents and everything like that. And dude was at the table with us where he had her sitting with us so it wouldn't look weird. And he kept coming to our table, right? And he's sitting next to her and he's talking and looking at her, holding her hand and rubbing on her and stuff like that. That's who he loved. That's the woman he loved. So what he did, he waited till the parents died. He got everything and then he dumped the wife and then he married her. And they're living happily ever after with their little Blasian babies. So that's what I want to tell you. You are a grown man. You got to do what you got to do. I understand. Like in this case, dude, with property, the stuff is probably worth several $1,000,000 now. But, he knew that that was his duty as a leader of the family, and girlfriend was down with it. He took good care of her. She didn't have to work or nothing. He took care of her because that would, before everybody started calling black women queens, he said, that's my queen. And I was like, queen? I was in high school. What did I know? But Yeah, I'll never forget that. The way he looked at her was just like the heart eyes emoji. Wait, this was before the internet, so they didn't have emojis yet then. But that's the closest thing I can think of to the expression on his face every time he looked at that woman. And so that's who he married. Yeah, I had to crush him because he was just cool. He was just cool. I mean, he just had swag, what we later call swag. That word hadn't been used yet, but he had it, and he was just like, just cool. I don't know. That's probably the beginning of my fixation on Asian men, because then that's my first boyfriend was Asian and Hawaiian, half and half. Honey, I'm telling you, dude was fly. That's all I can tell you. Shit, if he didn't want to marry her, I would have. I'm a little young. Can you wait a couple of years? So I've been like, shit. Okay, let's move on. Question number 7. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Atlanta. The male in question is 35 to 41. Summary of issue. I want to block a guy I'm dating because he called me a, quote, sensitive Sally. Wow. For context, I'm black, he's white, and we've been dating a month. He brought up race at times and made me tilt my head and think, why are you bringing that up? But there haven't really been any comments that made me really question him. On to the story. He sent me a picture on Snap of this black guy sagging his pants way too low for comfort. My immediate thought was, why are you sending this to me? Then I read his caption, which was along the lines of, quote, great pants, dude. Y'all women love when you dress like that. The y'all women is what really made me go, what the fuck? I told him the caption of the pic was weird. I explained, if I sent a picture of some white girl dressed like a basic Taylor Swift girl or a hipster and said, you sure your men love that? That would be really weird. Please don't send stuff like that to me. That man is just living his life even if you don't agree with how he dresses. Taking a pic of a random guy that isn't doing anything to clown him is weird and being a hater to me. But then on top of that, sarcastically saying that women of his race loves how he dresses is just ill. Okay, you didn't cuss him out? Why are you worried about him? His response was, wow, okay, sensitive Sally. Oh, I see. I don't think what I said was me being sensitive or overreacting, but is my wanting to block him over this overreacting? Hell no. You should have cussed him out. Strike one. I'm 25 and he's 39. What are you doing? We met through a dating app and his profile said he was 27. So he lied and didn't tell me until our third meet. Because it was so early, I let it go. But obviously, this stayed in the back of my mind. No, you're not supposed to let it go. You're not supposed to let it go. He flat out lied to you to manipulate you into a situation that you would not have entered into had he told you the truth. So when you find, that's the kind of stuff that's so egregious. That's when you drop them, like on the spot. So that was your first mistake. Number 2, he said that he's brought up race at times where I didn't question him, but I remember one time that made me uncomfortable. We watched a movie called Good Boys, and one of the main characters was a white guy who liked the little black girl. Every time they came up, he kept saying interracial like an excited puppy. We also watched Death at a Funeral, and he got excited saying, look, it's you, referring to Zoe Saldana because she's dated white men in the movie. A friend said that maybe he was trying to make a race joke, but even so, why didn't he just correct me instead of calling me a sensitive Sally? After strike 2, I couldn't help but tie it to race. At that point, being with a black woman sounds like a fetish. If he had just sent the pic and said ew or whatever, then I would have just left it on read. We're in the capital of the Peach State. Okay, so black guys rather, sagging their pants is normal, so they shouldn't even get a look back. This was simply too much for me to take. Deb, I didn't do any further explaining and texted him, I hope the next girl you meet isn't a sensitive Sally. Goodbye. Then he was blocked. Okay, so you did get rid of him. Good for you. I like these kind of letters that with a happy ending. In the future, girlfriend, if you find out that a man lied to you, though, right off the bat, please immediately dump him. Okay, how can you build trust in a relationship when somebody lies like that to manipulate you and try to coerce you into doing something that they know you don't want to do? You at 25 don't want to date no 40-year-old ass man, right? But he lied to get you to do that. That is the moment. The second you found that out, you were supposed to say, get up, walk, stand up. If you're out, stand up, go get your car keys, your purse, and your coat, and leave him sitting there. That's what you're supposed to do. But the fact that you kept going with him, see, that sends a message that he can just, you tolerate bullshit. That's the message that you sent by doing that. You communicated that to him by accepting his lie. Yeah, he's 39. I don't know, Mo, we back to the Gen Z people that come on now, what did I just say? I don't even know what to say about this. Anyway, let's move on to question number 8 because not too much to say about him. He's weird. Yeah, I hope you didn't sleep with him. Female, 18 to 21 from Boise, Idaho. Summary of issue. My boyfriend made a comment that hurt me and I don't know what to do about it. Deb, I need some advice. Today, my boyfriend and I had a small disagreement. He doesn't have a great relationship with his parents, and today he had mentioned that he had to go downstairs because his parents had called for him to eat. I was surprised and asked, do you go downstairs when your parents are around again? And he replied with yes. I've mentioned this before or something of the sort. We sort of got into this back and forth where I was like, I'm sure you hadn't love. What? And he insisted that he had mentioned it. I made sure to be affectionate in my wording and was speaking kindly to him. But at some point he replied, you don't remember things anyway, which took me by surprise as I was speaking kindly and was genuinely surprised. This hurt me quite a bit as I do have a bad memory, and I've shared that it was an insecurity for me, and he knows I am sensitive. I began to cry quite a bit and have taken a few hours of space from him. As I said, I was a bit overcome by emotion. I'm unsure of what to do now. I tried to explain why it hurt me, but he didn't seem to be listening much. How should I approach this? Okay, let me see. The way you wrote, I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. Okay, it said we were raising up with parents, and they mentioned that he had to go downstairs because his parents had called him to eat. You know, so before. None of this back and forth until you mentioned. Okay, so you got in a snit and asked him if do you go downstairs when your parents are around because his parents called him downstairs to eat dinner with them as a family. And he had to even say anything about that. He's living with them. See, so that little comment there, a little bitchy ass comment that you started there, you stoked that flame. So he struck back to shut you down and hurt your feelings back the way that you hurt his. That's what happened. You were criticizing him and trying to make him sound like he was immature and a big baby because his parents called him to come down to eat with them, and he wanted to get off the phone with you to go do that. That's what this is. You was mad because he was getting hanging up from you to go have dinner with his folks. And so then he lit your ass up. In response, you pulled them little cry baby crocodile tears to try to make him feel guilty about going off on you and checking you. And so I don't feel sorry for you. That's what you get. Next time when it's something about someone's family, shut your fucking mouth. Okay? Nobody asked you. He didn't ask you shit about what he should do with his parents in his parents' house. That was so inappropriate. And so you got told and you got checked and you ended up in tears, and that's what should have happened. I think he did a good job. And I don't feel sorry for you in the least. If you sensitive and shit, suck that shit up, Cupcake, because don't nobody give a fuck about your sensitivities. Y'all in these fucking crying all the time, thinking that somebody's supposed to care about your feelings. Yeah, I was scared. I had to go back and read it again because I don't understand what the hell she was talking about. But yeah, he's living with his parents. He's on the phone with her in his room. The parents call him to come down to dinner. So he tells her, I gotta go because I'm filling in the blanks here, but judging what she said. So he's got to go. And then she's like, well, do you go? Your parents call you when they're, this. And so then he, of course, feeling irritated and put upon and criticized and judged, he lit her ass up. And so she's like, oh, my memory. No, it's your mouth. Your mouth is what got you in trouble this time. So anything to do with anybody, and remember this in the future, anything at all to do with anybody's family, you don't say nothing. You talk about yourself and your family. You don't criticize other people's family relationships. I don't even do that unless they right here and ask me. Other than that, I keep my mouth shut because it's none of my goddamn business. You need to learn that lesson. Think you're going to be mouthing off. You can just, she's like a mini Karen. Like, well, if I think it should be this way, then it's the way it should be. No. You got that Karen disease. So he checked your little ass, and now you sit up there crying and writing letters to me. How should you approach this? As you said in the end, You should grow the fuck up. That's what you should do. And take my advice and stop talking about people's family. Don't you ask no questions. If he says anything about his parents, you just say, okay. That's what you're going to do from here on out for the rest of your life. Question number 9. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. She irritated me. I'm just like, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Summary of issue. I am absolutely not getting involved with an unborn child that my ex claims is mine until I do a paternity test. Is that a good move? Absolutely. My ex told me that she's 6 months pregnant, but there are so many question marks and red flags I can't ignore in this situation. I told her I'm not taking any steps in this situation until we do a paternity test because she told me months ago that she had a successful termination after doctors confirmed it. Then months later, she found out it failed but didn't tell me until last week. She making up shit. No one has a confirmed successful termination and then months later finds out it failed, and that's a big red flag. Yeah, because she's lying. She also showed me a scan. Wait, where are my nurses? I used to have some nurses here that was in the audience. Sunday was one. I don't remember who else. And when it was some mysterious next like that, so I'd be like, what the hell? Okay, so he says she also showed me a scan that was blurry without her name on it, and that's another big red flag. She refused to take the paternity test and blocked me, and I blocked her straight after because she felt offended. But I told her my point of view for her to gain an understanding. I didn't want to be a fool in this situation, and I have evidence that shows I was willing to be a good dad if we done the paternity test. Because of this rare situation, I found out months later. I tried my best, but do you think I made the right choice asking to do a test before making any steps after finding out all this 6 months later? Oh, absolutely. You're very smart, and I wish more young men did that. Not because you're trying to dodge the responsibility of being the daddy, because it doesn't sound like that's what it is. You're just concerned because she said she had a termination, and 6 months later, then suddenly magically she's pregnant and trying to put it on you. And you like, I haven't even been around. What you talking about? And, but if it's mine, I'll definitely step up, of course. But, there was so much time. You said you had a termination. You showed me some scan that don't even look right, because those are usually very clear with the date, the patient's name on it or something. I mean, there's, patient ID, just something. They're not blurry at all. And what else you say? Something else. But anyway, it's all in all this very suspect situation. Sounds like she's trying to pull a fast one and get you pinned as the daddy, because if you sign the birth certificate, it's over. Even in some states, even if it later turns out you do a paternity test and it's not your kid, it's too late, because then you've already established, this parent-child relationship, and the courts look at that, what's for the benefit of the child versus what's the benefit of your wallet. So you are doing this right way. And please, if it is your child, step up and keep your promise to take care of it. But if not, I commend you on your very smart preemptive strike. Very good. We don't know. We don't know, Mo, but I'm telling you, if she is, he gonna get a paternity test. So, and if she not, then whatever. So, what happens with a lot of dudes, I'm gonna tell you, dudes, is game too. Some of these girls are just trifling. And they see a dude and he's, got some good income or got good prospects or whatever. And so she'll lie and say she's pregnant, right? So he's like, oh my God, this and that. So then, then the game is, well, since I'm already pregnant, we don't need to use protection anymore. And then that's when she really gets pregnant. So if a girl that you don't want to be married to suggests that you go bare up in her and you do it, you're an idiot. You signing away 18 years of your life and your paycheck for that 33 seconds of good time you about to have. Any man who does that is a fool. I cannot even express the idiocy that you would be running through your veins if you fell for that game. Just stupid. All for let me shut up. Question number 10. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Denver, Colorado. Female 28 to 34 age group as well. Summary of issue. My girlfriend wants to live apart from me after 7 years of living together and 8 in a relationship. Okay, girlfriend. After 7 years and you wondering why she don't want to live with you no more? Are you serious? Okay, let's see how stupid you are. My girlfriend is 28 and I'm 29, and we have lived together for 8 years now. Since university, we've shared an apartment. Now we're both professionals and doing quite well. She says she wants to live alone to experience it. She says she never gets a moment alone, etc., and has things that she wants to do. The thing is, I've never stopped her from doing anything. I've stopped myself from doing things because I just thought, hey, that's what a good man does. Put it to the side and be there for her because she's the future mother of my children. I've put everything into her. I basically grew up in our relationship. We met when we were both in our first year, starting dating in the second. She says she still wants to marry me and have my babies and be with me forever. My question is this: is it true? Does she really still love me? Or is this just her way of leaving easier for her? Is she just scared to do it all at once? Is she really just wanting to experience a bit of time living on her own? Or is this it? Should I just end it now and save her the effort? I really love her so much that you can't even imagine. My mother loves her, my father, my brother. I love her brother like my own. Her father, the whole family. What is happening right now? Please, I need to know if I've lost everything. No, what she's doing right now is getting you to understand how much you need her in your life so that you would get off your lazy, dusty, fucked up ass and propose. You think somebody want to date you for 20 years? What are you doing? You should have been popped out with a ring and proposed to this girl. What the hell is your problem? I'm surprised your parents haven't jacked you up about this. Or did they and you just not listening because, well, I don't really want to get married. But you want to cry on my shoulder about the fact that she's talking about leaving. See, you're going to get to see what life without her is like, and that's why she's doing this. And it's very smart. She should have done it years ago. Leave you to your devices so you can get a feel for what your life looks like when she's not there. Because she's been there since you basically were mature. Once you reach adulthood, she's been in your life, and you've taken her for granted. So she's about to break free and let you experience life without her so you can get a fucking clue. Because you stupid. You're hella stupid. Who you think want to date you for 8, 9, 10 years? You out your rabbit ass mind. Boy, if you don't get down to that jewelry store and pick a ring and propose to that girl, if you want to keep her, you better do something. And it better be that. Okay? That's what she's frustrated about. Proven by the fact that she says she still wants to marry you and she still wants to have your kids. That's a clue. Okay? You just dumb and don't fucking get it. I need to know if I lost everything. You about to, if you don't step up like to the plate like a man should. Just, ooh, girl. That's the letter. What's the letters tonight? These people are stupid. Yeah, my video, they are underrated, aren't they, word art? Well, please share a couple of links around. That's how I get new channel visitors. New people come and then they share the link and then their friends, learn about it. And then they come on over here. I don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say. The fact that he would put all these years down at damn near a decade and then be surprised that she's tired of his ass. Woo, he's so brand new. Question number 11. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Medford, Oregon. Summary of issue. My boyfriend uses hurtful language towards me when he is mad. That's a golden opportunity to lose my damn mind. My boyfriend, who I was with for 2 years, we broke up for a couple of months and got back together in June of this year. Always uses hurtful language when mad, and I'm not sure if it's normal. No, it's not. He called me a, quote, dirty ass female. Oh, for things I did years before we started dating. Well, what you tell him that for, though? See, look on this channel and the video talk. Women need to learn to shut up sometimes. That's you. It's something that happened before you met him. He shouldn't even know about it. It's none of his business. What did you tell him for? He's called me a bitch, knowing how I feel about that word being used. He said a whole slew of things. Wow. Today, his friends called him. He told me he's not answering because he doesn't want to go. They called a second time and he answered and left. Deb, I do not mind him going out with his friends. However, I explained to him I don't like it when he says he doesn't want to go if he does. I said to him so much for not wanting to go. It wasn't the right thing to say. However, his response was, you talk a lot of shit, that with that your loud mouth ass. Oh. Okay. I never cuss or call him names when I'm upset. I said petty things, but I thought we set a boundary where we wouldn't call name call. We are mad, but he still does. How can I become more firm with my boundaries without getting called controlling? The first thing you need to do, my lovely dear, is shut the fuck up. How about you do that? This is a grown man. If he says he doesn't really want to go, but then he changes his mind, he's entitled to change his mind. Don't you ever, haven't you ever changed your mind? You think because he said he doesn't want to go that he can't ever change his mind? That's the way you coming off. And the comment that you made was very judgmental and critical. That's why you got lit up because he didn't want to hear it. That's why he said that you had a loudmouth ass because you did. Now, I'm not saying that did everybody get great. I'm not saying that the way he talks to you is, the correct and politically correct and romantic way. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I understand why he did it. Well, I mean, he's entitled to change his mind. Because they could have told he could have said, he didn't, they said, well, he didn't answer, he don't want to go, he probably don't want to go to such and such a place, or he don't want to do such and such a. So by the time they called him back, they changed the itinerary. I'm just throwing out a possibility, right? They changed the itinerary for the evening, and then suddenly now he's interested. That's happened to me many times. Because first they was gonna do some bullshit. I don't want to do that. So I say I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to go. And then the people who know me say, well, she's not gonna she don't want to do that. If we tell her we're going here and there, and then she'll probably come. So then they call me back. Well, how about if we do this and that, this and that? Then I'm like, okay, bet. And then I go. It could be something as simple as that. But she's not giving him that grace. She's criticizing him so much, for not wanting to go. What was the reason for you even saying that? You didn't need to say that. All you had to do was tell him, have a good time. I'll see you when you get back. That's all you needed to say. But no, you had to come up with some old harpy ass judgmental shit. And that's why you got checked. Dude is a savage, so you need to leave him the fuck alone. Just shut up and whatever. I mean, unless it directly affects you, you don't say nothing. You don't have an opinion. He's not cheating in line. He ain't beating your ass and stuff. Then he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Then just be quiet. Okay. More women need to learn to do that. You never cuss, but the problem I'm having is though the beginning part when you said that he called you. Let me see some of these choice names dude was using. A dirty ass female. Wow. Yeah, I don't like that. And the B word, I don't like those two either. I don't like those. And I don't know what you did before you started dating. But like I said, if you put that information out there and you gave it to him, that means you put it out there for yourself to be judged and he judged you. That's why you should have shut up. There seems to be an overriding theme with you. You just run your mouth. And that's why he said that you have your loud mouth ass. It seems to be a thing with you of you just giving information and just talking too much, saying stuff that nobody want to hear or that you shouldn't be saying. So you might want to revisit everything, go over yourself, and then think about it, and then tell him, don't you ever call me those names again, or we'll through. And then if he does, then you can break up with him. Question number 12. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Yakima, Washington. The young man in the question is also 18 to 21. Summary of issues. Should I get drinks with an old friend from high school? I just matched on a swipey thing with this guy that I went to middle school and high school with. We're both 21 years old now. Not sure if friends is even the right word, but we were definitely acquaintances through high school. Now it's been almost 4 years since we've even crossed paths. We have been catching up for a couple of days, and he wants to go get drinks while we're both back home for break. What are your thoughts on getting drinks for a first time getting together? No. No. What you're going to do is tell him, well, let's get lunch. Let's get lunch. And then that's what you're going to do. You're going to see him in the daytime. You're not going to have any alcohol because alcohol clouds judgment. Like I said earlier, it loosens people's tongues. It loosens resistance. It lowers boundaries. And it's just dangerous for women to be having alcohol with a man that they haven't seen for years and years. I don't even like that suggestion. So you're going to counter with, well, no, let's go to lunch. And you're going to pick the place because it's going to be a place that you like and pick one that you've gone to before. Okay. and you're gonna watch your drinks and you're gonna watch your food, and you're not gonna go to the bathroom until you finish eating. You don't wanna go before you when you order because they might bring your food and stuff while you're still in the bathroom. That gives them a golden opportunity to fuck with your food or beverage. You're not gonna do that. So you're gonna go to the bathroom before you order your food, and then you're gonna stay your ass there at the table, and you're gonna finish your drink and finish your soda, your lemonade, whatever you're getting, and you're gonna finish your food right there. And then if you need to go to the bathroom, you can go. That's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna turn your eyes away playing with your phone. You're gonna turn your phone off. You're not gonna do anything then looking around the room where you're not looking at your food and your see, there's just so much here that could be problematic. That's why I'm saying all this stuff. And a lot of people are, you're an alarmist. No, I'm a fucking realist. This is the kind of shit that's going on every day. Okay, you read on these forums like Reddit. The girls talk about how their drinks got roofied and all this kind of stuff. This shit goes on every fucking day. So I'm not being an alarmist. I'm being a realist, and I'm letting you know this kind of stuff happens. And don't be acting brand new. This is some clown you don't even really notice for food, and he trying to get you drunk. Don't you feel suspect? I think you do. That's why you wrote to ask if that's okay. Because in the back of your mind, you know it's not, but you're just looking for somebody to back you up. And so here it is. You're going to tell him no, you don't want to get drinks. You're going to go to lunch. Or you could do brunch, either one of those. But watch the brunch because they serve champagne. Don't drink that. Okay, got it? Let's move on to question number 13 of 26. Oh, I need another. DJ, why are you always late? I got to talk about DJ. DJ on the late train. Choot, choot, choot. All right, let me get serious here. Okay. This is a young lady, 22 to 27, from Stocksbridge in the UK. Summer issue. What can I join to toughen up as a highly emotional woman? Okay. I'm 24. See, these Gen Z people, I told you, just fucking emotional, just weak and very sensitive. And I get hurt and tearful very easily, ridiculously easily. And I want to stop as it's getting in the way of work and life. I want to join something where I can build up my mental strength. Being out of school, I'm kind of stuck on what organization or activities I can join. Those army groups run at college, for example, would have been great. Thanks for your suggestions. Well, I don't know. They have boot camp fitness classes. You can, now that the global issue is over, they, coming back up with those. They usually meet in parks or whatever. Some, gyms or whatever. Look into a boot camp class. Those things are tough. I wouldn't fuck with them personally because I like to exercise, but I want to do it at my pace. I'm not trying to do running and pull-ups and push-ups and all that kind of stuff. I just not about that life. But you need to toughen up, so that might be perfect for you. So look in your vicinity, your area for boot camp classes, and then join one. And then just get beat up by them and cry as you want to. Hopefully you have a tough instructor that's like an ex-army officer that gets in your face and yells your hair back. That's what you need. But as far as you being, very sensitive and hurt and tearful very easily, see a shrink about that shit. That's a mental problem, because usually it starts because you were coddled as a kid. That's what I see most of. The parents baby them, like, if they fall down or something, the parent runs over and, practically wants to take them to the emergency room and makes a big deal out about their little pain. So the kids get a emotional reward of attention when they are this emotional wreck and crying about everything and stuff. The parents coddle them and stuff. So it's like an ingrained thing. Sometimes the kids aren't even really aware of it, but that was the pattern. In order to get attention from the parents and get patted up and stuff, they learn to cry and play weak and, oh, I'm hurting and all this kind of stuff. It's a thing. The parents feel needed and wanted and like they're caring, and the kids eat it up because they get coddled and taken care of, and sometimes they get treats and, this whole thing. So it's a mutual thing. That's what you need, is to get a shrink to go work through all of that and figure out what happened in your childhood that, that rewarded you for being this way, because that's why you're that way. If you had my parents and you fell down, they've been like, get the fuck up. What you crying for? You act like you was the end of the damn world. Get up. And then we got up. And even if it hurt, we just sucked it up and we limped it out and we went on with our lives. You be bleeding and you still climbing the tree and riding stuff, blood off going down your leg. I know one thing, we was not going in the house because my mother said, "You come in the house, you stay in." So we just make it work, put a leaf on it or some moss or some shit like they used to do in Daniel Boone and just stay outside. We're not going. These kids, you just too sensitive. You can't say nothing to them. Soon as you say something to them, any kind of criticism and stuff, they want to start crying and big old crocodile tears like somebody cared. I'd be thinking like my mother, like, "You gonna keep crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about." Those words go through my mind, and I'd be looking at them with the bombastic side eye. Like, "You crying about nothing, let me give you something to cry about." That's what I'd be thinking every single time. It's terrible. So anyway, let's move on from this. I got 26 questions. I'm only on number okay, I guess I was 13, so this is number 14. Male, 28 to 34, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary of issue. I've been on too much dates with no result. Hello, Miss Deb and ladies. I had quite an interesting year. Since I broke up with my ex at the starting of 2023, I have downloaded some apps to get back in the dating world. I have had in like 6 months at least 15 dates, which seemed like quite a lot. That's not that much in 6 months. None of them amounted to anything, not even a kiss. When I was out there, I'd have 15 dates in like a week. Girl, Diana, let me tell you about my player days. Okay. So I would go out to the club, right? I had my route. Certain nights I would go to certain clubs, right? Thursday night was Dock of the Bay in Oakland. Friday night was Rockin' Robins on Haight Street. Saturday and Sunday was usually my date days. Monday, I would go to Freaky Monday at Ivy's. Tuesday, I would go to, where did I go Tuesday? I can't remember. And Wednesday was the Bank Exchange in San Francisco. That was my route every week that I was in town. That's what I did. So what was I doing? I was going there. I was getting numbers, right? I'm meeting dudes. So by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have dates with dudes that I met, during the week. So usually I would start off with breakfast because, I was running and stuff. So somebody would say, "Oh, yeah, let's go for a run and we'll have breakfast." Go home, get cleaned up. Another date, we got lunch. So now I'm at 2 dates in one day. Then I have dinner. So that's the third date. And that's just one day. Then the next day I do it all over again. So I could have 6 dates in a weekend plus the Friday night date. So that's 7 dates in one weekend. So he's talking about 15 dates in 6 months. I'm like, dude, that ain't shit. You need to, let's move this along here. You're wasting time. Honey, the Bank Exchange. Then they used to have this place called Mr. Green Jeans. And I only went there once though. I don't know, it just wasn't my flavor. That was downtown in the Embarcadero Center or somewhere, I would forget. I didn't like it, but it was real popular. Yep, Jeffries, but I didn't go to Jeffries until later. I went to Jeffries when I got back from Texas. So anyway, let's move on here. So where was I? Okay, 15 days was seen. None of them amount to anything, not even a kiss. I would say I am fairly good looking. I often got told by people in my life, probably the reason why I'm easily able to get the first date in real life, but as soon as I actually meet the girl, I'm never able to get the second date. Most of them say they just see me as a friend. I get a bit fed up trying to switch tactics, be less friendly, be more mean, but then I just come out as rude, LOL. The last date, I thought the date was going really well. I tried to kiss her and she just rejected me instantly and said that she see me as a friend. I was sure I had all the green light at that moment. So I made the conclusion I have absolutely no skill in reading the signs and for dating. Girl before that told me I was weird. I have even watched videos about how to talk to girls on dates on YouTube and stuff like that. The techniques applied have still not amounted to anything. This seems to be a recent problem, as when I was younger, it was easier for some reason. Towards the last dates, I was going like a gamble, like I had no idea if it would go well or not. It kind of created this whole anxiety about dating now. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I dress nice, sound good hygiene, respectful, maybe too nice, no such thing. For some reason, they don't sexualize me. Do other guys have a similar experience in mind? Do you think? Any tips on what to do? I'm gonna just tell you this. Dating apps I don't even know why that shit exists except to make advertising money for them sites. That's pretty much it. As far as, it being good for singles, I just see no evidence of that. I see no evidence of that. Harry Denton's. Is that place on, Polk Street? I don't know, some place over there that had good food. I don't know, I can't remember. You have to tell me where it was, because I'm terrible with, like, even with now with directions and stuff, people will be like, "Did you know?" They'll tell me the name of something place or a movie or something. I don't know. But when I start looking at it, then, "Oh, yeah, I saw this," or, "Yeah, yeah, I've been there." So you have to give me an address, tell me where it is in the general vicinity, and I can tell you. But, with women, there's not really, attraction is the kind of thing you can't really define it because it's either there or it's not. And it doesn't matter. You can't manufacture it. Even though these pickup artists have made millions from telling guys that they can, you cannot. You cannot. You can get a woman, through your conversation and making yourself entertaining and fun to be around. You can get her attention. But will you be able to keep it? If you're not offering her anything emotionally, it's not going to happen. You just roll through one woman after another like you're experiencing because they won't be interested in you because there's nothing to connect them to. Now, I would have to see you on a date to see how you act, what kind of things you talk about, your mannerisms. It's something in there that you're not aware of that's off-putting to the women, and they're calling you weird. See, there's something that I don't think you're really aware of it because your assessment of yourself versus how a woman perceives you are gonna be two completely different things. So when guys say stuff like, "Well, I'm a good man and, women, should like me and, I got a job," to say, no. So she got a job and she doing all the same shit too. So is she a good man? So, that's it doesn't make the criteria. What it is a personal connection with you. And sometimes we get those kind of connections with people that are just so different from us that you're shocked yourself that you feel that way about them. It's like, you're excited to meet this person. When you see their name on your caller ID, your heart starts beating. When you see them, walking near you, stuff, you get excited and you look at the person objectively and it's like, this is not my type, what I thought was my quote type at all, but I'm crazy about this person. That's attraction. And you can't make it up and you can't manufacture it and you don't really control it. I mean, you can, decide to be with the person or not, but does that mean that you're, going to be less attracted to them because you made a decision based on other criteria? No. They still excite you. You're still interested in them. They still turn you on, but you just, for other reasons, have decided, that a relationship with them is not possible. So there's something, young man, anyway, I'm going all around the world to tell you this. There's something that you're missing in this equation. I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you that's what's going on. So you get friend zoned because there's no spark there, and the women find something that you're doing or saying something that about you is turning them off. And so they friend zone you because they think, well, it's not like you really did anything bad, but he's nobody I want to be pursuing a relationship with either. So you get friend zoned. So think about that. What kind of things have you been doing and saying to them that maybe you should stop doing and saying? Okay. Question number 15. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from San Jose, California. Summary of issue. How do I tell women of any age that I'm gay without them being weirded out or creeped out? Before I continue, and not to excuse it, but I am autistic and have a bad habit of getting my foot stuck in my mouth. So please forgive me if I say some stupid stuff. Anyway, I'm gay and I'm 27. I hope it's okay to write to you with a bunch of question marks. I don't care. A relationship is a relationship. I don't have any woman friends or sisters to talk with about this. Part of it simply is guys are my type, so I'll simply want to hang out with more, but I want to at least like maybe a small girlfriend group to join. I don't know. The thing is, I'm gay. Okay, so you said that twice, 3 times, whatever. So that should help in part with the fear in my head, at least that my friendliness will come off as flirting. My social skills aren't amazing, even past the autism, sadly. So do I just say it? When and how? I want them to know I'm simply looking for friends, but it feels kind of icky to just like halfway through a conversation with someone say, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay, just so you know." I want to be a decent, non-threatening dude, but worried that this is going to be just a rude, mean thing to say. What do you think? What's the best way to bring it up? Simply to show that I'm interested in friendship, as I usually need to tell straight men this too. And the approach is basically, yeah, dude, you may be hot, but not a chance. I even try. Straight is a no go. Any thoughts and advice? Very welcome. Well, the same thing with women. I mean, chances are, if you start talking to a woman, especially in your social setting, she's going to assume that you're looking, for like dating purposes, right? Um, And that's if you approach her. Now, let's flip it around. Let's say a woman comes up to you because she sees you sitting there. I don't know. See, I was born and raised in San Francisco, so my gaydar is strong. I can just tell when a dude is he's swinging that way, and I don't even trip. I mean, I have a lot of gay friends and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I already know that they're gay. They don't need to tell me. That's my point. Okay, so she doesn't know. She says, "Oh, he's cute." So she saunters over with her little drink in her hand. She got a little drink, and she like, "Hi. What's your name?" And you're gonna say, I don't know, Marcus. My name is Marcus. And now, what you could do, Marcus, is if you say that with an affected, gay swing of the hand or something like that, then she'll know. It'll be a signal, right? But if you don't fly like that, then you just be regular, then she's still not gonna know that you're gay. So then, she's gonna say, what's your name? And you say Marcus, and then she's gonna say, well, uh, what brings you out tonight? And, just the basic usual club bullshit conversation. And then if she asks something about, getting together or getting your number or something like that, then that's when you drop the ball. Because, up until then, you're just having a conversation, right? Just a conversation with a person. There's no need to announce anything about your sexuality because nobody cares. Nobody asked you. Okay, so you don't need to walk around with that on Front Street. Now she's like, oh, you don't want to get together? Then this is when you say, uh, well, to say her name is Leslie. Leslie, if your name was Lucas or Mark, I would be all over that invitation. But I think I'll have to pass. She'll get it. Now, what have you just done? You've just told her that you into dudes, but you without saying I'm gay. Do you understand what you want to do? What you want to do here? You want to deliver the message in a way that has some couth to it. That's not off-putting and it's not jarring. Okay. So you do it in a way that's like kind of like a joke. It's funny. She's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, is that what's going on? Okay, oh, I'm sorry. This and that. Well, you still are cute. And so you can have still if she's cool, y'all can continue to have a conversation. If she's not, then she'll walk away because she'll be too in her feelings, and most likely, if you dealing with a Gen Z person, that's what's gonna happen. But you dealing with somebody a little bit more mature, like a millennial, they'll be like, "Oh, is that right? Well, damn." Well, what do you do for fun besides hanging? And your conversation will start. What kind of music you into? This and that. This and that. Are you a good dancer? Do you want to dance with me? There's no big deal. Let's just dance and have a good time. Okay, that would be your entree into making friends with women. So it has to be something along those lines. Light, funny, not too heavy, not all this political stuff. I mean, just drop the information in a way that's going to make her be like, oh shit, and laugh. Okay, that's what you want to do. That's your goal. Yeah, you can. Some people can, Stella, and butter my toast, but a lot of women just don't have that. They don't. I mean, they be married to the dudes and shit, so that they don't know. I said some people just really don't get it. But like I said, I can see him walking down the street. I'd be like, oh. Yeah, DJ, it wasn't all the time, but I'm saying like when in my active days when I was doing a lot of clubbing, yeah, that's how I would do it. Sometimes I would only have 2 dates, not 3, and sometimes only 1. So it might be, 3 or 4 dates that weekend instead of 6 or 7. But there were a lot of weekends when I had 6 or 7, and, that's how it is. Just rolled through them. What can I say? I was cute. Yeah, still not ugly, but I was much, much cuter then. So I had a lot of dudes. Now most of them weren't worth shit, but you were just talking about sheer quantity. Let's move on. Question number 16. This is a young man in the 28 to 34 age group from Santa Clara. Summary of issue: how do I get this guy who won't accept no for an answer to leave me alone? We're both gay men. I'm 32 and he's in his early 20s, if that matters. I just thought a woman would have better advice since I hear women deal with crap like this all the time. This guy at the clubs I hang out with will just not take no as an answer. I prefer not to cause a scene again, but I just want him to leave me alone. Anyway, it's been about a year since he started asking me out, asking for a kiss, squeezing into our group to grind on me. Oh my God. Staring at me flirtatiously to get a reaction, even though he should know I'm not into him. I have told him countless times that I'm not into him and made an effort to just be his friend and include him with the group. Okay, see, that's where you fucked up. Maybe 3-ish months ago, I finally snapped and told him off and walked away to hide with my bestie. He left. The next time I saw him, he apologized. Then the next time he literally pushed between my friend and I to grind on me. I literally backed up and just kept texting. He turned around to tell me I'm rude, and this time I really snapped, told him off, and left that part of the bar. He came out to another area to talk. I told him off again and then blocked him online and avoided him. How did he know how to find you online? How did that happen? Every single time he sees me, he comes to say hi. I say as little as possible or straight up ignore him, but he tends to come from behind, so I don't know who is tapping on my shoulder, and then it's him again. Just last night alone, I think it happened 3 times. Anyway, from what I've heard, it seems every woman has unfortunately dealt with predatory men in clubs, so I'm curious what I should do that doesn't involve screaming "fuck off" in his face, because I feel like that's the only option left. Well, that's my favorite. My personal favorite method is get the fuck out of my face, motherfucker. I can't tell you how many times I've had to say that in clubs. And like I said, I always went to the same clubs. Notice why I said I had my route? I went to the same places. You know why I did that? Because I got to know the security and I got to know the bartenders and I knew the DJ and I knew the waitresses. So if any funky shit went down, they knew they knew I knew their name. I could holler it out if something happened, and then 3 security guards would be there. You see why that was my strategy. I'm not going to a whole bunch of new places now by myself. I'm gonna go to the same places where I know people. I know who's on the door. I know who's walking the floor. I know who's behind them playing the music. I know who's at the bar fixing my drinks. If any funny shit goes down, they're gonna make sure I get my drink and it's been untampered with. That was the strategy that I used, and it worked. I never had my drink, jacked with or anything like that. And I always, came and left safely in those environments. So, young man, I'm gonna tell you this. Let's say you 32 and he's in his late 20s. You're being too polite. You say you trying to make it to be his friend and include him in the group. You should have never done that. What'd you do that for? You know you weren't interested in the clown. What'd you do that shit for? So that gave him hope. That was a mistake. Now you shouldn't have done that. Then you went to walk away to hide. Why? Okay. When he comes up to you and starts grinding on you, why don't you push him off of you? Say, don't fucking touch me, fucking pervert. Why don't you do something like that? See, you're acting as so passive, just like the same problem I have with the women. This guy is extremely aggressive. When somebody is going to rub their body parts on you, then however you respond with aggression, that's just what they take. If they land on their ass on the floor, bump their head on the chair, then that you shouldn't have put yourself on me. You did that by touching me against my wishes. I told you before not to do that, and here you go again. So no, he would have been flying across the room. If it was me, just you a dude, push his ass. I just backed up and kept texting. See, this is passive. Where's your testosterone, son? You told him off, and then he comes straight up to you to say hi, and you say as little as possible. Why? That's the opportunity to say, get the fuck out of my face. I told you before, you fucking stalker. Why can't you say something like that to him? Why are you being so polite and kind to him and so delicate? Why, if you know he comes from behind, why are you positioning yourself so that he can do that? My rule when I go into places like that, and I'm a woman, my back is to the bar, I'm facing out. There ain't nobody coming up behind me. You know, you sit on the bar stool, right? You can face the bar, but you can also turn your chair around and face out. You can turn to the side, pick up your drink, and continue drinking and looking out at see you know what's coming at you. You know what's going on in the club. If some shit's going down, people starting to fighting and stuff starting to get funky, you know how to hit the exit because you face it, you know what's happening. It's not happening behind you. You seeing it. You all see who's coming up on you. So, you know, and if you're gonna be out on the floor and stuff, you position yourself so that your back is to the DJ or to a wall. So you can see who's coming up on you. You don't handle yourself the way that you handle it. You can tell you don't have no street smarts at all. My poor son here. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you and adjust your behavior accordingly, okay? And stop being passive. Open your damn mouth and tell this little fucker to get to where to go. Question number 17, female 22 to 27 from San Jose, California. Summary of issue. How do I be a good role model for the youngsters in my family? I'm 23 and a recent graduate from college. My first cousin is 33 and she has two children, a male 4 and a female 1. And one of my second cousins, 30 female, is going to have a daughter in May. So you're talking about a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a not born yet. They live in North Carolina and Texas respectively. I would like to be a good role model for these three younglings, but they are a little far for me to visit and help routinely, not frequently. What can I do to help develop these babies into good people from a distance? Songs that have a good message, stories about life. Well, I think it's a little young to start worried about that, but I guess you can start putting some thought into it. One thing that you can do, one thing I've noticed about young parents, they will give their children iPads and stuff like that, but they won't give them books. Get the kids some books. And if you can, do when they get a little older, you could, or I guess the 4 and the 1-year old, you can probably do it a little bit now. You could do like FaceTime or Zoom or whatever, and make sure that they know how they can call you anytime if they want to talk to auntie. And what are you, cousin? Auntie? Yeah, okay, cousin. And then, you guys, you can chat with them. You can read them stories because, you can hold the picture book up and show them the pictures and you can flip the pages, like they used to do at story time. The teacher who was reading the story, they would always hold the book up so the kids could see the pictures, right? Where they're doing like this. So every kid and sitting in a little circle could see the picture. And then she would turn around and she'd read another page and she hold it up so everybody could see the picture. So you could do like that. As they get older, they're going to start having things like, going to school and having conflicts with friends and, problems on the playground. Stuff is not really an issue quite yet. But, make yourself available to them and try to provide them with experiences as you can that their parents aren't. Books are the main thing. I've given some of my relatives books, but then I don't know what the parents do with the books. Kids, I buy the books and then the kids don't even know where the books are. The parents do something with them. And these, you got all these young people, they don't have any books in their house at all. None. No books. The kids just watch TV or play on the iPad or play on their game consoles. That's it. Nobody reads anymore. They don't even read on their iPads. They just play games on them. I think that's very sad, and is making kids be poor writers, and their communication skills are suffering for it as well. Their verbal communication skills, ability to make presentations, even to carry on a constructive conversation, do a decent job interview, are all suffering because they don't hear words. They don't have the opportunity to connect words written. So then they have to write reports or read reports when they get to a job. They don't have that skill set. It's very interesting. So books is the number one thing I'm going to recommend. Okay. They look online. They have a lot of books, for different cultures oriented towards the children, like self-acceptance, self-esteem, different cultural kind of things. You can, focus on that. But, like I said, at 4 and 1, it's a little young, and plus you're so far away. But just make yourself available, I think, is going to be the first step there. Question number 18. This is a male in a 38 to 42 age group from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Summary of issue: what's with people not being attracted to their partners? Like every other day, I see a post online about someone saying they aren't attracted to their partner anymore. Why even date them then? Why waste their time? I don't get it, to be honest. I don't either. I mean, it's an interesting question that you pose, but I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine, and this is just conjecture because I haven't seen the post you're talking about. I would imagine sometimes it may be financial. Sometimes it may be that they're staying with them for religious reasons, like, divorce is not culturally or, it's culturally acceptable. But when they're not even married and just dating and they're not attracted, I really don't understand that, because that's like, you single. Pack your shit and get out of there. I don't know. I seriously, it's something I've wondered, because not only do they stay with people they're not attracted to, they stay with people that are mistreating them. So it's like two sides of the same coin. I don't know the answer to that. There seems to be some repetitive types of psychological damage. That's all I can tell you. People, there's a lot of damage and mentally ill people. And I'm not trying to be facetious. I mean, they're diagnosed. I mean, they write letters and talk about, I'm bipolar, I have schizophrenia, I have, panic, manic depression, or, depression. I mean, they say it. So I'm not just coming off the top of my head to say that they do. They admit it. So I don't know what the answer is to that, sir. But that is an excellent, excellent question. And if you guys have any thoughts, you can feel free to put them in the chat stream. Question number 19. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Gilbert, Arizona. The male is also 22 to 27. Summary of issue: my boyfriend wants to move in with me, but I want him to live alone first. Can you help? My boyfriend and I have been together for 10 months. He lives with his parents and his younger brothers that are 10, 16, and 18, no sisters. Before current events, he was over my place basically every night. A couple of nights ago, he said that he wants to move in with me if I'm up for it. I've been to his place more than once, and I've seen how their dynamic works. His mother does everything for all 5 males in that house: cooking, cleaning, the works. Basically, all they have to do is put their laundry away after she washes, dries, irons, and folds it. The reason the parents aren't forcing them to contribute is that this was the parents' agreement. He works, she's a stay-at-home, so she raises the kids and runs the household, and he pays for everything, with one of the clauses being that she is doing everything. There's no need to involve the boys. Well, they're not boys anymore, though. He's a grown-ass man now. As a result, my boyfriend cannot do anything. I don't know much of this is actual cluelessness, and how much of this is him trying to get out of stuff. But he has told me completely sincerely, and I've checked this with his mother, that he can't even fry an egg, which is why when my boyfriend suggested moving in together, I said I wanted him to live alone first. His plan was basically to go straight from his mother's house to my flat. I told him my hesitation, which is that he can't do chores. He then offered to pay more rent, 75%, in exchange for me doing all the chores. I said, nope, I don't want to be his mother or his maid, and I want to just be his girlfriend. Then I told him I wanted him to live alone, go from his mother's house to his own place, figure out how to do all the things he's never done for himself, learn some basic life skills, and then revisit us living together. This has caused a huge argument, biggest we've ever had. He's taken me saying he has no life skills as an insult, which it kind of was, to be true. I mean, to be fair, but has basically said that clearly I don't want to live with him at all, as I pushed the moving in time back, and I've only said we've revisited after a few months of him living alone. And I did say revisit because I want to make sure he actually knew what he was doing and wouldn't immediately switch back to offering more rent for no chores. This was all a couple of nights ago, and he just stopped talking to me. He's at his mom's. He's online. He's talking to mutual friends who have said he is responding. He just won't answer any of my calls and texts. He's told our friends what happened, and they're all on his side saying I was really mean and cruel. Fuck him. I love him, and I do want to live with him eventually. I just don't want to live with him if I'm doing everything. And the one thing I don't want is him paying extra for me to do all the housework. Is there some sort of compromise or some option that I'm not seeing? What can I do to fix this? You can do just what you did, which is demand a mature partner who's going to contribute to the upkeep of the household. He doesn't know how to do anything. What effort is he putting into learning how to do something? See, that's the question I would be asking him. Okay, you want to move in with me, but you can't cook, You can't sweep, you can't mop, you don't know how to clean the bathroom. Just go down the list of what he doesn't know. So you're saying that you want me to assume the role of your mother to take care of you, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to do that. I want somebody who can do all of these things on his own so he doesn't overburden me. Because then I wouldn't be the girlfriend lover anymore. I would be the maid. And I don't want to, I can't see you as a child because then it's not sexy. It's not sexy if I have to treat you like a kid. I want you to stand up next to me as a man so I can, we can have that, going on. But as a point of me having to take care of you like you're a child, that would be a turnoff. And you have to just put it in, men don't usually understand when there's something about some booty. Oh, honey, they get 20/20 vision, can see all kind of stuff clearly all down the road. Oh my God, I get it. I understand. So that's how you have to rephrase it for him. Tell him it's a turnoff and it's, makes you feel like, he's a kid and you don't want to sleep with a kid. That's what you have to tell him. And then he'll get it. I don't want to clean up after nobody. See, that's why I live by myself. That's why I don't even want to have a relationship. Not right now. Because, people, and it's right for them to expect something. I'm not saying, you see how busy I am and I can't do it. I can't, I know it's not enough hours in this day for me to even do what I want to do. I just don't have time. Even though I just made 22 sweet potato pies over the last week. I just want you to know. And they taste good. I think I gained 3 pounds because, I have to sample the dough. I mean, the batter. And then I ate some pieces of pie. I'm gonna have another piece tonight too. But yeah, you gotta have somebody who knows how to do stuff, otherwise it all falls on you. Even if you have a man who can't really cook, I mean, most men know how to at least make breakfast, burgers, and use, barbecue something. So you buy some shit for them to put on the grill, dinner, that's dinner. I mean, they'll do that. They might not know how to get in there and make like, some etouffee and, prime rib and all that. I mean, they're not gonna do no fancy stuff, but casseroles and whatnot, but they can, throw some shit on the grill. I mean, that works. Oh no, he didn't. No, 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 no. Mary Elizabeth, I know you didn't fall for that routine. You've been around here too long for that. Okay, let's move on here. Question number 20. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Chelmsford in the UK. Subject issue. I can't find a man who is not trying to dominate me in a relationship. What do you think of a woman like me? I want a man that doesn't show off his masculinity. What? I don't want to be treated like a child. I hate that. That's not masculinity. You're confused. Okay, let's see what else. I hate that. I don't like when a man makes me feel like I'm a woman that makes decisions under emotions. I hate men that stereotype women and how they behave. I want a man that treats women equally, the one that I feel like is my friend, that I don't feel like make me feel like I'm little and protect me. They don't trust me and my skills, so they always want to do something for me. I have a job in a male-dominated field, and what I very often notice that they're trying to impress me by their skills and always want to have the last word, and they're expecting me to envy them. It was happening very often, so I just get used to that. Every man want to show off in front of me, a woman. I can't stand that a man is trying to downgrade me and force me into being obedient woman without my own thoughts. I was raised in a family where the father was very dominant. My mother was forced to do everything that the man said, even though she knew that he was not right. So I, as a grown woman, I'm very sensitive and to such behavior, and I don't let anybody limit me because I have to listen to a man. Does every man trying to be a superior in the relationship? I want a man that treats me equally, respects my preferences, and he is my friend and does not want me to be a slave to fulfill his orders. I'm going to tell you something right here. What you're mixing personal relationships with your work relationships. You're in a male-dominated field, and a lot of dudes are insecure when women come in there with it, can go toe-to-toe, know just as much, if not more than they do, have just as much experience, if not more than they do, got just as good a grades, if not better than theirs, have just as many degrees, if not more than they do. They get very threatened because for men, what they do for work is part of their ego and the way that they identify themselves. So you like if a guy is a doctor, he's gonna always, he's never gonna say, "Oh, my name is Ronald Jones." He's gonna always introduce himself as Doctor Ronald Jones. Nobody gives a fuck at the restaurant if your ass is a doctor. That only matters on the plane if somebody's having a spaz out and they say, "Is there any doctors available?" And you got your medical kit, and then you jump into action. Okay, then it matters. Somebody choking at the restaurant and you save their life with a tracheotomy, well, then it matters. But other than that, you just walking around just in general, just announcing that your ass is a doctor. Don't nobody give a shit. But for men, that shit is important. That's important for them because that's how they identify themselves. So if you coming in on an equal footing, they can't really impress you because you have everything that they got. So they trying to impress you, and you're like, it ain't working. So, but if you in a relationship, um, your man feeling, doing things to protect you is not making you feel little. If you're perceiving it that way, then that problem is you. Your man cares about you. I mean, your parents cared about you and they protected you. People who love you, might even be your siblings, are gonna love and do things, put moves in place and keep an eye out for you because they're protecting you from harm. People that care about your ass will kind of protect you from getting hurt. That's just the way it is. So that thing right there, you're gonna have to get over that. If you want a man to just throw you to the wolves and not give a shit about you, then you don't need to have a relationship. Okay, so you need to get straight on that. I don't know if you need some therapy or something like that because you overreacting to what happened in your household with your daddy. Okay, and you feeling like, because he doesn't trust you and your skill. See, then you're back to work again. So you're mixing personal stuff with work with things. Separate those two. How your man treats you at home when it's just the two of you and your kids, and in the bed and all stuff. That's going to be different than what you're going to experience in the workforce, and you need to separate the two. This letter right here, you're mixing them together, and that's not going to be fair to any man who wants a relationship with you. That's his job, to protect you and his kids and his household. That's what he's there for, to love and protect you. So, you don't want to, you make it seem like it's something wrong with him for doing that. The problem there is you. Question number 21 of 26. This is a female in the 45 to 54 age group from Greater Manchester in the UK. So we have an issue. Why do people care about body count? Ooh. Exactly, DJ. I don't know. I mean, I like it when dudes do that. Yeah, I'm perfectly capable of doing it myself. I'm a very great shot in the whole thing. That's not the point. The point is, if you want me to be playing the role of the pampered woman and all the benefits that you get from me playing that role, then that means you got to step up to do the role of the man who does the pampering. Okay, it's two sides of the same coin. Can't get one without the other. So she want to know why people care about body count. This is interesting. Deb, what the heck is going on? Look how old she is, 45 to 54. A friend of mine just started seeing a new man. We are both 49 and he is in his early 50s. She said she was trying to get him to tell her how many women he had nook with, and he wouldn't answer the question. Okay, your friend is stupid. It would bother me if someone asked me that question. I told her as much. I said, as long as he gets tested and you trust him and not sleep around, why would it matter? She said she's not sure why, only that it would. I guess whether or not a count is important can be an indicator of compatibility, and each person is allowed to feel however they want about it. But I'm extremely curious, especially since she couldn't identify what about a large number would make her be so uncomfortable. Huh. For those of you wondering why I would ask this question, what does it tell you and why do you care? Oh, of those of you who would ask or answer this question, what is the name? Why would you care? Yeah, a lot of women are stupid and they would answer that question. I told you my answer is always 3. It's always 3. It's going to stay 3. You know why it's going to stay 3? Because in my mind, really, when you think about it, when you get old as me, you can't remember everybody. Some of them were just such a non-motherfucking factor. I mean, by the time you got up, you forgot about them. Others, you'd be like, that was kind of amazing. I wonder where he is now. But whatever. But what I remember, my theory is this. We only remember 3 of them anyway. We remember the first one. We always remember the first. We remember the best, right? The best one is like and then we remember the most recent one. Whether good or bad, we remember the most recent one. So to me, there's 3. There's only 3 to count, and so there's only 3 that get mentioned. That's my own personal theory, my own personal way of handling things. 3. Everybody else is a non-motherfucking factor in my mind, because if they was that fabulous, then they would be in that slot of the most number one, right? The best, the best. So evidently they wasn't that great. Although I might have to change that to 4, because even though not the greatest, they're like the best, like overall the best. There was like the freakiest Aries men. I think so. I might have to change that to 4. Just remember that too. But still, that's it. That's the limit. I'm not gonna be trying to remember every single one. I don't care. Question number 22. This is a male in the 35 to 44 age group from Leeds in the UK. Female, 45 to 54. Summary of issue. My girlfriend wants me to sell my shared townhouse with my older brother to live with her full time. I don't think I can afford swinging our mortgage payment of $835 plus an HOA fee of $284 a month while paying her rent of $750 a month plus utilities on my salary of $51,000 a year. Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna be broke. Hey, Deb and ladies, my current girlfriend of about a year now has started living together. I moved in about 2 months ago. We've discussed finances in the past, but never really hashed it out. We've come to the agreement that I pay $750 a month in rent, help with the utilities, and help around the house with maintenance and projects. For reference, she currently owns her own home. Back in the late 2020, my older brother and I were renting a house together and our lease was up. So his landlords were selling the house and the property to the village. Looking around for a place to rent, we just did not look feasible. Got in touch with a realtor buddy and said, why don't you guys just buy the house? So we ended up buying it together. And now 3 years later, I'm having my reservations as I'm tied up in a shared mortgage. I currently only make $51,000 a year, so I don't see how I can swing holding a mortgage payment and pay her rent of $750 a month plus taking on the utilities. I have absolutely no debt or car payments, so I really don't have those to hold me back. My little brother's currently staying with us on a month-to-month basis while he builds up his wealth for a down payment on his own place. He's paying $600 a month. So what is she paying? She got you in there. She pimping y'all. You need to move the fuck out. That $600 a month is going straight into a shared savings account between my older brother and I for a rainy day fund for the house. What would you do? Oh, okay. So he's living at the other house. Okay. Should I raise little brother's rent with a written promise of receiving some equity back upon sale, whenever that may be? He's making over $80 a year as current, so he could afford it. I just figured we're being loving brothers by giving him a discount. Should I talk to my older brother about selling the house? Probably should have just gotten a 1-bedroom condo back when all this unfolded, but it is what it is. I'm not comfortable selling as where do I go? Should things fall apart? Back to renting? Any guidance on the sticky situation would be greatly appreciated. Move, pack your shit, and move the fuck out. Let her pay her own mortgage, move back into your other house where you bought it with your brother, and you and the little brother and the big brother all live in the house together. And then you let your girlfriend pay all her bills at her house by herself. And if she will, you go visit her and stuff, you spend one night, and then you go back to your house. I don't understand this wanting to live with somebody stuff. What is the point of that? I mean, so what you pack up and go spend the weekend over there, she spends the weekend with you. What is the big deal? Dude, you have too much to lose here. And you being stupid, thinking about selling and all this old stuff here because of some bitch-ass girlfriend. She's not your wife. Okay? Stop giving her wife privileges and consideration. Tell her ass, bitch, fuck you. I'm not doing that shit. You dropped your rabbit ass mind. I'm moving back into my house and I'm not paying shit at your house. You gonna pay it. I mean, like, I wouldn't even have moved. As soon as she started talking about that shit, I would have been, see, she just wants your money. She wants to ease her life. She mad because you over there, you and your brothers, you helping your brothers and not her. That's what this is all about. And you so stupid you fell for it. Man, why can't I find somebody who's dumb like that? Sliver mate, yeah, girl, because I moved the show first. I moved it to Thursday. Well, that was a no-go. I was exhausted. I think I was in the bed about 5:30, and it woke up at like 3 in the morning. And so then I said, okay, okay, I should got a lot of sleep. I should be able to do it right Thursday night. Same thing. I just couldn't do it. So I moved it to tonight. So I didn't really have much to do today. I was able to sit around the house and rest. And so here we are. But yeah, when I'm out and about in the streets and meetings and stuff, it's just awful. Okay, question number 23. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Fresno, California. Summary of issue: my boyfriend is obsessed with my ex. I got with this guy last year, months after I broke up with my ex. I met him through a mutual friend, and at first I really wasn't attracted to him. I didn't stop talking to my ex with this guy because I had no idea where we were going. Now I know I'm going to get so much negativity for this, but around one of the weeks we first started to get to know each other, I did admit that my goal was going to use him to get over my ex. Oh, wow. Well, that's what my grandmother used to say. The best way to get over one man is to get under another one. She used to tell us that all the time. Old lady wisdom. I only told him because we were starting to get close and I was falling for him. And when I get close to someone, I tell him everything. Oh, you stupid. I don't know why, but I always felt the need to do that. It upset him a little, and he gave me a long talk about how it's not good to use people. We continued on and got closer. He dumped me after 3 months, and my ex contacted me. I talked to my ex until me and the other guy got back together. Girl, you just a hot mess. He never liked my ex and was offended when he found out I was talking to him. For months, the relationship was a roller coaster. My ex's name was brought up all of our fights. I officially blocked my ex in August for good, but it didn't stop my current boyfriend from bringing up my ex. It didn't stop my ex from contacting me either. My ex made several fake numbers and asked me who I was sleeping with. Wow. I never responded. It was this close to getting a restraining order on him. It was so bad. We argued a few times. My ex's name still popped up. We could be arguing about something completely unrelated, and it somehow ends up with him bringing up my ex. I no longer spoke about my ex anymore because I felt disgusted by him. I felt like the new guy was an upgrade. It hasn't stopped, and it won't seem like it will ever stop. Just a few days ago, he felt like I was lying about something and went crazy on me within a few seconds. Okay. He did ask me to call my ex on the phone on a three-way just to talk to him to get proof of what? Proof of something. So I did, and as soon as my ex answers, he screams at him and doesn't let him get in a single word. And then he tells my ex I'm in love with him and that I'm the one who can't stop bringing him up, then hangs up. I thought calling him would make things right, but it just created more drama. The only reason my ex was really in the picture is because he dumped me and I was talking to my ex to cope. Bad idea, I know, but what should I do? And am I the reason my boyfriend is like this? Nope, your boyfriend's like that because he's insecure and stupid. See, my thing is this, and this is how I handle dudes to be like asking me about an ex or any other dude. You ask me about another dude, why? You want to fuck him? Why are you asking me about him? Why don't you go ask him yourself? You want his number? You trying to figure out if he swing that way? Is that what you trying to get into now? Just let me know, because I'll be out. I'm not trying to do all of that. But I'm not gonna stand in your way if that's what makes you happy. Then they be like, no, you tripping. You tripping. I'm not asking for that. Well, to me, a man who asks all these questions about another man, that's the kind of shit like women do. When they're interested in a dude, they want to know all about him. So the fact that you asking all about this other dude, what can I do but think that means that you want to fuck him? You're interested in him. You trying to get at him, and you'd ask me questions so you can get all the scoop, so you know how to get at him. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what it sounds like. What you want me to do? You asking all the same questions a woman would ask who's trying to get at a dude. That's the perspective that I'm viewing your questions. So, it sounded to me, this is sus as a motherfucker. You sitting up there asking all these questions. I mean, you want to know how big it was? You want to know what moves him? I mean, what you asking me all the stuff about him for? And it never fails. It shuts them down. They don't say shit after that because they be scared that I'm going to, label them as, being a fence jumper. They get scared because they're like, if I ask her any more questions, then she gonna dump me because she gonna think I'm gay and I'm after that dude. And it's like, like I said, I don't have no problem with gay people, but I'm not trying to date one. There's a difference. I'm a strictly heterosexual woman, so I want a heterosexual man. But, if you wanna do that, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, do you. I'm not gonna ever stand in somebody's way if that's what they wanna do. But you just can't do that and call yourself being in a relationship with me. Now that's where we'd have to draw the line. So that's, the approach that I take with them. It's like, "Hey, I'll step back." I'll make them introductions and let y'all figure out what you wanna do. "Nah, you tripping. You tripping, you the worst. You crazy," all this kind of stuff. But I tell you what, it makes them stop asking me that stupid ass shit, and that's the only thing I be caring about. I'm just like, man. Okay, so this is question number 24. Oh, so there's only 25. I see she missed number one. Okay. Female, 28 to 34 from Calgary, Canada. The male's 28 to 34 as well. Some have issue. My husband got pissed at me when he demanded dinner at 1 a.m. and I told him no. I need some help here. I'm 29, my husband's 31, and we've been married for 3 years, so we are not youngsters. Yesterday, I spent the beginning of the day at the hospital with my grandmother. After leaving, I picked up my son from school and took him back to the dentist. Took her to the dentist, rather. Once I got home, I cleaned my house, I did laundry, dishes, swept, put away my daughter's clothes. By the time night approached, I was exhausted. My cleaning sessions lasted all well until 10:30. After I prepared for bed, it was around midnight. I got in bed completely exhausted. I could barely keep my eyes open. My husband wanted some nook, so I obliged. Afterward, I wanted to sleep. I was so tired from the day that I couldn't think of anything else. Meanwhile, my husband asked if I could cook him something to eat. This is 1 a.m. now because he was hungry. I told him I was exhausted and my body felt slumped. I couldn't even stand up without feeling like my body was going to shut down. He caught an attitude saying that he pays all the bills and it shouldn't matter what time it is and that I should cook. He became furious and slept in another room. Meanwhile, he covers the home bills and I pick up everything else. The kids, the home, I even have my own candle making business. Any advice for me? What, Deb, what is wrong here? He says that I don't respect his hard work because I didn't get up and cook. You good because you should have told him, fuck you in your ass, you lazy motherfucker. I'm the inconsiderate prick. I was sitting up there doing all this stuff all damn day and rattle off all the stuff you did. And then you worried about something. Go in there and make yourself a hot dog or a sandwich or some shit or some ramen noodles. Eat something. Don't bother me. I'm exhausted. Taking care of your kids in your house and your mother. Well, whether it's his mother or not. Your mother-in-law, whatever. I'm tired. And I'm going to sleep. And if you want to go to bed hungry or mad, then you do that. It's a free country. Have at it. And he went to sleep in another room good. You get rest better without him snoring and putting his cold feet on you anyway. Shit. He got some nerve. See, then he would have got cussed out. I'm sorry. Because, even if I'm tired, like I get like this superhuman strength comes from somewhere. And then I would have sat up in the bed and went, take that deep Leo breath and roared. Well, see, my thing is either you do it yourself or just starve. I mean, I really don't care which one. I mean, it's the same to me. You eat yourself or you starve. I mean, you get in your car and go to a 24-hour drive-through. I don't know what you're going to do. But whatever it is, I'm not going to be involved in it. So you make the magic happen the best way you can. Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. Yeah, I'm offended. I'm offended. Sounds like this is just too much. He just doing the most. Okay, and our last question of the day, I think this is the last question. Hold on, let me just double check. Because I don't know how Miss Thing. Okay, that page is blank. Let me just make sure here before I get too excited. Oh, no, it is 26. Okay, so we got 2 more questions. Oh, before we do that, let me remind everybody today you need to sign up if you want to do it. It's in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, right? The webinar on saying no, developing the skill to say no. This is a thing for young ladies, just as you hear tonight on this show. How many women and actually men too don't know how to say no to back people up off of them? Don't know how to set boundaries and just tell people to get away from them, leave them alone, stop doing this, don't talk to me like that. Those kind of things. All those are different ways to say no. What you're trying to do and the way you're trying to treat me is unacceptable. So I'm going to try to help you find your voice, and we're going to do some role playing where I'm going to be you and you're going to be, well, you're going to be whatever you are, but I'm going to respond the way that you should have responded to these various situations. Okay. So just go over to debsterism.com or look on the show page in YouTube, expand the show page, and you'll find a direct link. But the page where you can get the information is Debsterism, DEBSTERISM.com. Okay. So let's finish up this show tonight so I can go and have me some more sweet potato pie. Okay. Question 24. She's a young lady, 22 to 27 from Houston. The male is the same age group. Same issue. My boyfriend receives a gift from a female friend that I find inappropriate. My boyfriend has a friend that he's been friends with for less than 6 months. They work together, and yes, they talk outside of work. My boyfriend is leaving his job, and she got him going away gifts. One of the gifts is one of those love jars where you put little notes in it. On the jar, it says, read these when you need a pick-me-up or for when you miss me. I think that the gift is inappropriate and crossing a boundary. I told him that is something that you give to your significant other. He doesn't agree and doesn't see it as inappropriate and thinks I'm overreacting. How can I get him to see that it's inappropriate and crossing a boundary? Just so you know, this woman is married. He also implies that because she's married, the gift isn't inappropriate. Well, let me tell you how Deborah would handle that. He would say, no, it's not inappropriate. I would say, okay. And then as soon as he left, that thing would disappear in a garbage dump like 16 miles away from our house. I would drive it across town and go to some apartment complex, because they had them big dumpsters, and I would pop it in there like a 3-point Michael Jordan shot from midcourt. And then it would be gone. And then he'd come back looking for his little love jar. And he'd be like, where's my love jar? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Why are you asking me? And then he would be sad. He would know I did something with it. And I would deny it till I died. Or maybe on my deathbed, I would admit it. But up until then, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't touch it. I didn't see it. I don't know what you mean. Tooth Fairy got it. Easter Bunny. Santa. I don't know who took it. But it wasn't me. And I would go to my grave saying it wasn't me. It wasn't. Remember that song? It wasn't me. There, I'd be singing that. That's how that would go. Because, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm just going to rectify the situation. And the situation is that bitch shouldn't have gave you no love jar. And so since I don't want you to have a love jar from some other bitch, we going to make sure that you don't have a love jar from some other bitch. And that's just the way it's going to be. And you're going to get over it. And if you don't, then you can take your hush puppies and your little game console and get to stepping. I mean, like my grandfather used to say, you look just as good going as you did coming. So, just certain things that I feel like are just too disrespectful. But, even if I broke up with him that next day over this, I would still make sure he didn't have it. That's going to be your punishment for thinking that you could just bring that stuff up in my house and then I'm supposed to tolerate that. Oh, no. You're not going to have it, and then we're going to break up. So that's how that's going to be. But we're going to break up, but you're going to be breaking up without a love jar. And that's just the way it is. I don't play that kind of stuff. Oh, no, I'm telling you. Girl, just go there for the 3. Into the garbage dump. And deny till I die. That's it, DP. I'm trying to tell you. Once you start on the denial track, you can't retract it. Yeah, oh, well, maybe I did. That's how some women do that. Well, maybe. Oh, no. I'm going to deny that shit. I would put my hand on a stack of Bibles. Because I'm not religious anyway, so that don't mean nothing to me. May as well be Webster's Dictionary. I'll put my hand on it, and I will swear up and down that I didn't touch it. Just lying and don't care. And he going to know I'm lying, and I'm going to know that he knows I'm lying, and I'm going to still lie anyway. Question number 26. This is our final question of this crazy show. Female, 22 to 27, from Watford in the UK. The male is in the same age group. Summary of issue: how to communicate my feelings to my partner. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Well, if you feel like it, you most likely are. I see you guys over there. My partner and I are spending time apart with our families for the holidays. I've met his, but he hasn't met mine. I really love him and I think we are compatible, but all the questions my parents ask me about him are making me question the relationship, kind of. My mom asked me if we got each other Christmas presents. I told her I got him one, but he didn't get me anything. She asked if we go out to eat in the city very much, and I said no, I usually cook. And my dad is asking about his job and everything, and I'm sure that they're wondering what the future is and all that. It's been 8 months and we haven't talked about marriage or moving in or having kids. To be honest, I'm a really insecure person, and it feels surprising to me that someone would want to date me. So I wouldn't be bringing up marriage, but maybe at this point in the relationship, it should have been discussed. Wait a minute, you're only 22 to 27. Why would you discuss marriage so early and you just been dating him? Well, let me see. Do you say? No, you don't even say. Okay. Maybe it's in the later in the letter. Overall, I feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting here. He's never made me in bed. He finishes really quickly and he really likes oh. So he a lot of the time it's just for about him. I also wish he would give me more compliments. I write him cards and stuff, and I know he really loves them, so I just wish he would reciprocate. This guy isn't a jerk. He just doesn't have a lot of experience in relationships, and I don't think he's trying to hurt me. I don't want to be someone who's keeping track of all these things, but also want to be mindful of being taken advantage of. Is there any way I can communicate to him? Yes, you stop doing it. Let me tell you how this goes. Imagine a relationship is a rowboat. Okay, there's two people in the now keeping that this is my little analogy, and it usually works for people because it's a visual. I have slides when I do my presentations, but I'm just gonna go through. Okay, there's a rowboat, right? And in a rowboat, there you got the road, the oars. There's two people right there rowing. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Now, if they're rowing, its strokes are similar, right? They're rowing together. That boat is going to shoot straight across the water. It just stays aboard. It's going forward. It's just doing wonderful things, right? You got one person rowing, the other person just sitting in the boat. Well, it's going to be more of a struggle. I mean, it's going to go forward, but it's going to much slower speed. And sometimes, you get tired, and so then the boat just floats, or the boat starts going a circle because you're not a good rower by yourself. You need some help. And so the boat's just going a circle. You're not really going forward. You're just going a circle. That's how I see these kind of relationships. So he's the passenger in the boat, and you're doing all the rowing. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? There's nothing coming back to you, girlfriend. You're gonna get worn out. It's like you're the 100% giver and he's the 100% taker. He's not giving you anything, not even a damn Christmas gift. He doesn't give you love notes. From the sound of it, he doesn't give you flowers. He doesn't take you out. I mean, how did you get into what you call a relationship like this? It just sounds like what I call a relationship of convenience, where it's all about some booty. Everything is about him. He's getting all of his needs met while you sacrifice all of yours. I don't really understand how you think that this is something that you should stay involved in. Yeah, exactly, Sliver. Why do you think that's why your parents are questioning you? They're trying to do it in a gentle way, but they're trying to wake you up and get you to see that you are being used, you've been taken for granted, but basically you're just doing too much. You're doing all the work of a relationship and you're not getting anything back. You know what you really need to do is go and end this. That's what you need to do. He probably won't even notice that you're gone. That he just really doesn't seem to be really into you at all. When men are into you, I mean, even if they're not really dating you yet, they think about you. They think about what you like, what would please you, what would make you happy. I've had guys go, like they go to, the little festivals and stuff, little street fairs and whatnot. They know my ears are pierced, right? I like earrings. So they'll see a pair of earrings. They think I like some handmade things from one of the street vendors. It could be $10. I mean, it's not like their stuff is expensive, just $15 or less. They'll buy it because and they get the little gift box and everything and give it to me because they know I like earrings. It's the thought that counts, but your man's not getting you anything, even for the holidays. So you really need to think this what you recall what rethink this what you call a relationship and let this go. Yeah, but that's what they do. They want to use up all your whole, your youth and beauty and then don't, move forward in a relationship, don't give you anything. And then the women just stayed, hopeful that that's going to be the case and that the dude's going to change. And then they just keep giving, 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 giving until they get so exhausted and so worn out that they leave or else the guy finds somebody else that, makes him do what he's supposed to be doing. And of course, he respects her so he can fall in love with her. Whereas he was just using and she was just a placeholder. That's what's going on here, and that's what her parents are so concerned about, and that's why they're asking her those pointed questions. So at least she's starting to wake up, though. She says, maybe this is they're trying to tell me something. So she gets it. So one more time, let me just remind everybody, this is coming up in 2 weeks, 2 Fridays from today. So this is the time to register now. It's just $19 for a nice webinar, very educational and inspirational for young ladies on saying no, finding your voice and knowing when and how to say no to people, to back them up off of you. Go to Debsterism.com, or just if you're on YouTube, open the show description and you'll see the direct link. You can just click it and get the information and register right today. Okay. Because I think I'll close the registration like a couple of days beforehand because I don't want people trying to register while the thing is on. Folks like to wait till the last minute. Then they be mad. Well, I paid my money and then you didn't, I couldn't get into it. Well, you waited until I'm busy doing the webinar and then you want to start signing up. Hell no, fuck you then. You should have done it in advance. But that's what happened last time. And then there was like 6 or 7 people that waited till I'm in the webinar and then they signed up. So I'm gonna close the webinar out early this time so people can't do it. I just didn't even think about that last time, and it was a nightmare. Yeah, so they was a mess. I ended up cussing folks out, trying to go off on me. That did not go down well. We not doing that. So hopefully I will see you guys really soon. Enjoy your weekend. And hope you did all your Christmas shopping so you're not in the store on Christmas Eve like I used to do. That was my annual thing. I wouldn't even start my Christmas shopping until Christmas Eve. But now I don't. I just do everything online. So I'll see you guys later. It was a wonderful show. I enjoyed you. I'll see you later.